Chapter 1055. The purifying blood sacred spirit pill was just made from the bloodline of the golden-winged scarlet tiger and the pond water. These resources were extremely plentiful for Zhao Feng. Furthermore, after Zhao Feng broke through to the mystic light realm, these two resources would be much less useful to Zhao Feng. If that's the case, then this old man will return to Black Screen Corner and wait. Sacred King Dark Screen gave a deep look at Zhao Feng before merging into the air and disappearing. Black Screen Corner wouldn't recklessly attack a major force. Sacred King Dark Screen was also looking forward to the Hall of Gods performance. If the Hall of Gods was able to survive 9 Darkness Palace's suppression, they would definitely become another peak force in the continent. Being on good terms with a force like this would allow one to obtain limitless benefits in the future. Zhao Feng let out a long breath after Sacred King Dark Screen left. Even if Zhao Feng broke through to the mystic light realm, he wouldn't be confident enough to fight against the Sacred King. Shua! Zhao Feng waved the arm guard in his hand, and his figure started to fade as a layer of silver light appeared and disappeared. Zhao Feng believed that he would be able to use the misty spatial world to teleport even further after breaking through to the mystic light realm. This time, Zhao Feng teleported the distance of 4 major cities. Shua! A layer of silver light appeared in the air, and Zhao Feng's figure slowly appeared. The terrifying pressure of a sacred lord instantly created a phenomenon in heaven and earth. Sacred Lord. A peak-tier king next to Zhao Feng instantly knelt onto the ground. His true yuan and bloodline were suppressed to the point where they couldn't circulate at all. I haven't completely familiarized myself with and controlled my power, Zhao Feng murmured. I can still increase the distance of my teleportation. Zhao Feng didn't bother with this person. He waved his arm again, and his figure disappeared with a spatial disturbance. The next instant, Zhao Feng returned to the entrance of the Hall of Gods. This time, Zhao Feng teleported an entire province away, and his mystic light sacred power was instantly used up. Looks like in the future, I'll be able to teleport an entire state every time. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. Breaking through to the mystic light realm had made things so convenient for him. A substandard god artifact was indeed different. Zhao Feng could carry a teleportation array with him wherever he went. At this moment, the forces that Bai Qingwei had invited to help the Hall of Gods were still present. Grand Elder, Zhao Feng. Everyone stood up and looked at Zhao Feng, their hearts trembling. Almost 10 days had passed since Zhao Feng chased after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, and everyone was still worried. Zhao Feng's expression was calm as he walked to the top and sat down peacefully. Through the Dark Heart Seal, Zhao Feng found out some things from Bai Qingwei. Duke Nanfeng had gone to the Imperial Palace to report this to the Grand Imperial Hall. Bai Qingwei had done this herself, and Zhao Feng was very satisfied. The reason why he dared to chase after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and severely injure him was because he wanted to report this to the Grand Imperial Hall. He believed that the Grand Imperial Hall didn't want internal strife to happen during the war. 9 Darkness Palace was a peak 3-star power, and the Hall of Gods could be considered a 3.5-star power. Once the two started fighting, countless forces of various sizes would be involved, and the Great Gon Lord dynasty would suffer heavy losses. I will remember everyone's help for the Hall of Gods this time. Now that Zhao Feng had broken through to the mystic light realm, he was even more threatening. After this is reported to the Grand Imperial Hall, 9 Darkness Palace won't be able to do anything to the Hall of Gods for now. This is also the time for the Hall of Gods to develop. At this moment, Bai Qingwei stood up and slowly spoke. At the same time, she told them the blueprint for their future development. Most of the forces present were subordinate forces of the Hall of Gods or had a good relationship with the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng and Sacred Lord Star Demon left after Bai Qingwei finished speaking. Zhao Feng, you've really done well this time. Sacred Lord Star Demon joked. Zhao Feng had chased after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss of 9 Darkness Palace for almost 10 days. News of this had spread across the continent long ago. Zhao Feng's fame had risen once more, and the Hall of Gods' reputation had reached a new peak. Right now was the best time for the Hall of Gods to expand. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss is just one of the upper echelon members of Nine Darkness Palace. Zhao Feng shook his head. The Hall of Gods was far from being able to fight against Nine Darkness Palace, which had 1,000,000 years of foundation. One had to know that Nine Darkness Palace was a 4-star power at its peak. Zhao Feng's confidence didn't swell to such an extent just because he was chasing after Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Senior Star Demon, I want to discuss the second level of the soul splitting technique with you this time. Zhao Feng expressed his intentions. Zhao Feng had already deduced the second level of the soul splitting technique, but he didn't have much confidence, so he wanted Sacred Lord Star Demon to help him. After giving the second level of the soul splitting technique to Sacred Lord Star Demon, Zhao Feng returned to the forbidden grounds at the back of the Hall of Gods. Sacred Lord Star Demon needed time to review the second level of the soul splitting technique. After returning to the hall, Zhao Feng immediately entered the dimension of his left eye. When he broke through to the mystic light realm, the mysterious golden ball in the dimension of his left eye changed slightly, which was why it saved Zhao Feng's life. Zhao Feng stopped thinking and stared at the object above the mysterious golden ball in disbelief. Originally, there was nothing in the dimension of his left eye apart from the mysterious golden ball and the demigod head. At this moment, there were 2 demigod heads floating above the mysterious golden ball. The structure and shape of the 2 heads were exactly the same. Even the power of the tribulation lightning on them was the same. Why would a demigod's head that contains the power of God's tribulation lightning appear out of nowhere? Zhao Feng was extremely shocked. Although it was a good thing to have one more deity's tribulation head and half of the deity's tribulation lightning power. However, all of this was too weird. Zhao Feng started to think back to what had happened to his left eye. First, the mysterious ball released countless layers of golden ripples that penetrated the demigod's head countless times. Of course, the structure of the God tribulation lightning and the demigod head was also analyzed and recorded into the mysterious golden ball. Then, the mysterious golden ball emitted a surge of primordial energy and slowly formed a twisted black object. In the end, it turned into another demigod's head. Could it be? Zhao Feng suddenly thought of something, and his expression turned to surprise as his consciousness returned to his body. Zhao Feng took out a normal Earth-grade weapon from the misty spatial world. Shua! Zhao Feng's left eye locked onto this Earth-grade weapon and absorbed it into the dimension of his left eye. Zhao Feng's consciousness then entered the dimension of his left eye once again. Zhao Feng moved the 2 demigod heads to the side and placed the Earth-grade weapon on the mysterious golden ball. Zhao Feng circulated his intent and carefully touched the mysterious golden ball. The mysterious golden ball suddenly started to spin and shoot out countless golden ripples that passed through the Earth-grade weapon. Not long after, an aura of the primitive origin slowly gushed out from the mysterious ball and condensed in the air. This ball of black matter started to twist and turn. Several hours later, a complete Earth-grade weapon appeared above the mysterious golden ball. It can really copy physical things? Zhao Feng's heart shook. This phenomenon completely proved his conjecture. Zhao Feng's consciousness then returned to his body. Intent and Yuan Qi have been used up. This was the conclusion Zhao Feng came to. From the looks of it, Zhao Feng didn't notice when he was copying the demigod head because he was trying to break through to the mystic light realm. This also explained why the energy from Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss's clone was sucked into the dimension of his left eye. It was because he was copying the demigod heads and needed energy. This small mutation has actually given me this ability. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. It could even copy the demigod head and God Tribulation Lightning. From this, one could see how monstrous this duplication ability was. From the looks of it, this is the complete ability of the Golden Eye. Zhao Feng said with a serious expression. The Golden Eye only had the ability to analyze things, so it wasn't very strong as a support ability. However, if it was combined with the duplication ability, it would be perfect. However, after discovering the new ability of the Golden Eye, Zhao Feng also started to analyze the flaws of this ability. Firstly, it took almost 10 days to duplicate the demigod head. Although an Earth-grade weapon could be duplicated in just a few hours, people at Zhao Feng's level usually use inheritance sacred weapons or heaven-grade weapons at the very least. Secondly, it used up a lot of energy. When duplicating the demigod head, Zhao Feng was in the middle of breaking through and was replenishing heaven and earth energy, so he might not have noticed it. However, when duplicating this low-tier weapon, Zhao Feng came to this conclusion. Right now, Zhao Feng realized that duplicating objects required soul, eye bloodline power, and the yuan qi within his body. These two things were very important to Zhao Feng. If he didn't replenish them in time, the consequences would be severe. But with this duplication ability, I seem to be able to produce my own cultivation resources. Zhao Feng's heart jumped. He felt that this was unbelievable. However, while Zhao Feng used his soul, eye bloodline power, and yuan qi to duplicate the resources he needed, Zhao Feng also needed time to recover his eye bloodline power and yuan qi or use other precious resources. There seemed to be a balance between the two. I'll put this ability down for now. There wasn't much use in thinking about it now, so he might as well slowly test it out in the future. The most important thing right now was to consolidate his cultivation as a sacred lord. Zhao Feng had just broken through to the mystic light realm, so his control over his power wasn't very good. He couldn't even hide his aura. His 5-elemental wind lightning technique had also broken through to the 9th level, the earth of wind lightning. Once he started to cultivate the earth of wind lightning, Zhao Feng's strength would increase by another level. Whoosh! 2 dark yellow crystals appeared in Zhao Feng's hand. These were the earth elemental cultivation resources that Zhao Feng had exchanged for at the Lan Province War Hall. Zhao Feng immediately circulated the earth of wind lightning cultivation method in the 5-elemental wind lightning technique and started to absorb the earth elemental power within the dark yellow crystals. Zhao Feng also circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique to multitask and familiarize himself with the mystic light sacred power and the sacred power whirlpool within his body. After breaking through to the mystic light realm, the crystal core within his body shattered and merged with the laws of heaven and earth to form a sacred power whirlpool. At this moment, the sacred power whirlpool within Zhao Feng's body had 4 colors: blue, green, red, and finally dark yellow. After breaking through to the mystic light realm, the power that one controlled would change. For this reason, this process of slowly familiarizing himself with this power took an extremely long time, but Zhao Feng's left eye had given him extraordinary insight and calculation abilities. Thus, Zhao Feng only needed 1 month to completely familiarize himself with his new power. On a certain day, Zhao Feng opened his eyes. At that instant, Zhao Feng found that his intent could quickly merge into heaven and earth, and he could control the power of intent. Any casual action of his could summon the power of heaven and earth. This is the true power of the mystic light realm. Zhao Feng's body flashed with a sacred light, and a layer of dark yellow lightning appeared around him. Heaven and earth suddenly froze as a terrifying pressure appeared. Chapter 10:56. This is the true power of the mystic light realm. A layer of dark yellow lightning appeared on Zhao Feng's body, and heaven and earth suddenly froze as a suffocating physical force appeared. The earth of wind lightning didn't give Zhao Feng much power, but it doubled Zhao Feng's defense. At the same time, it merged with the physical force of the sacred lightning body and covered heaven and earth with a terrifying physical force. It was extremely difficult for beginning-stage mystic light realm cultivators to stand in front of Zhao Feng. Furthermore, the 5-elemental wind lightning technique also had many earth elemental techniques and secret techniques. Most of them were defensive and support type, and Zhao Feng understood them all. Right now, I might be able to fight back against sacred Lord Demonic Abyss by myself. Zhao Feng smiled confidently. It wasn't terrifying for someone to suddenly obtain great power. Only when they were able to use this power would they be terrifying. When Zhao Feng had just broken through to the mystic light realm, the injured Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Feng weren't Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss's match. Now, Zhao Feng was confident that he could fight against Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss by himself. However, he could only fight against Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. He would need to take out some important hidden cards if he wanted to gain the upper hand or defeat him. Master, someone from Nine Darkness Palace is here. Bai Qingwen messaged Zhao Feng through the Dark Heart seal. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile and immediately left. 3 elders of Nine Darkness Palace stood within the hall. The one leading them was Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss spoke the moment Zhao Feng appeared within the hall. Zhao Feng, I'm here today to apologize to the Hall of Gods. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had an awkward expression as he quickly spoke. As a high-ranking elder of the Nine Darkness Palace, I abused my power and encouraged the other elders of the Nine Darkness Palace to attack the Hall of Gods, a 3-star force on the continent. I hereby apologize to the members of the Hall of Gods. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss said unwillingly. However, this matter did indeed alarm the Grand Imperial Hall, and the Grand Elder of Nine Darkness Palace personally came out to punish Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. He even told Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss to apologize to the Hall of Gods and resolve this matter. Zhao Feng maintained a faint smile as he looked at Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss and waited for him to continue. How could Zhao Feng accept an apology? My Nine Nether Palace is willing to give all the resources of the Dark Sky Gate, the Black Radiant Sect, and the other forces to the Hall of Gods. I hope that you, Zhao Feng, will release the members of these forces. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss told them what Nine Darkness Palace was willing to pay. Bai Qingwei was slightly surprised. The Dark Sky Gate was a 3-star sect, and the Black Radiant Clan and some other forces were at least 2.5 stars. However, Nine Darkness Palace was willing to give them all to the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng was silent for a moment. This kind of apology was not enough to satisfy him. Zhao Feng, are you not satisfied with this kind of compensation? Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss could tell what Zhao Feng was thinking, and his tone was filled with mockery. Nine Darkness Palace didn't object to Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss attacking the Hall of Gods, but Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss's plan had failed. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss believed that the Grand Elder wouldn't let go of the Hall of Gods. From his point of view, Zhao Feng was going to die sooner or later, but he was still so greedy. These resources are only enough for me to release the members of the Hall of Gods. I can't just let you go like this, Zhao Feng said as he looked at Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss. The expressions of the 2 elders next to Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss were enraged. Nine Darkness Palace had never suffered such a loss before. They had no choice but to give compensation, but Zhao Feng was still not satisfied. Zhao Feng, don't go too far. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss expression became cold. Nine Darkness Palace would only give these resources as compensation. If Zhao Feng was still not satisfied, then Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss would have to cut off his own benefits. This is the Hall of Gods. Zhao Feng angrily snorted, his invisible intent imbued with law intent descending. At the same time, Zhao Feng's body flashed with a layer of golden sacred light. Lightning flashed within the light, and an invisible physical force spread forward. This was the Hall of Gods, and Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss was acting like this even though he had come to apologize. What this? The 2 Sacred Lords next to Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss instantly felt the air become extremely heavy. It was as if a mountain was pressing down on them, and the mystic light, sacred power within their bodies seemed to freeze. This power, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss expression became grim. At this moment, the magnificent power formed by Zhao Feng's intent was even stronger than Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss's. The 2 normal Sacred Lords next to him were unable to resist Zhao Feng's magnificent power and physical force at all. Even Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss found it hard to breathe, but since he was in the Hall of Gods, he couldn't attack anymore. Bai Qingyue's expression next to Zhao Feng turned from shock to joy. Zhao Feng. We can talk about the compensation later. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss had a helpless expression. Who, with a thought, Zhao Feng took back his physical force and magnificent power. Just now, his intent mainly affected the elements of Earth, so it had a strong gravitational effect. Combined with the sacred lightning body's physical force, normal sacred lords were unable to fight back against Zhao Feng at all. This Zhao Feng's strength, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss, had a grim expression. Just a month or so had passed, and Zhao Feng had completely familiarized himself with the power of the mystic light realm. His current strength had surpassed his imagination. The two sides then started to negotiate. Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss took out some of his resources, and the other two Sacred Lords almost emptied their pockets. In the end, Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss left the Hall of Gods with a depressed expression. By Qingwei, use these resources to their fullest. Also, give 3 purifying blood sacred spirit pills to the Grand Elder of Black Screen Corner. Zhao Feng left after giving out orders. The resources that he had obtained from Nine Darkness Palace were extremely plentiful. It was comparable to the resources of a 3-star power that had existed for 1,000,000 years. If used well, the Hall of God's development speed would increase once more. At the same time, Zhao Feng also knew that he needed to increase his strength quickly as well. There were only 2 factors that determined the strength of a faction. The first was human resources, and the second was the powerhouses overseeing it. Zhao Feng glanced over where Nan Gongsheng was when he returned to the Forbidden Hall. A wicked and terrifying power covered the area around the hall that Nan Gongsheng was in. It wasn't a forbidden ground, but it was like a forbidden ground, and no one dared to approach it. Maybe it was because Zhao Feng had broken through to the mystic light realm and displayed his battle power, but Nan Gongsheng was stimulated and started to absorb the power of the evil god after recovering from his injuries. According to what Zhao Feng knew, Xie Yang was an ancient god, a peak existence amongst the heavenly gods. As long as nothing happened to Nan Gongsheng, he would be able to inherit and control this power. It wouldn't be difficult for him to break through to the heavenly divine realm, and he might even be able to become a high-tier god. Heavenly divine realm. Zhao Feng also wanted to become a god, but he was still too far away from the heavenly divine realm. Zhao Feng entered a state of cultivation after returning to the Hall of God's forbidden grounds. After breaking through to the mystic light realm, Zhao Feng's physical strength had increased by leaps and bounds, but his soul hadn't improved much. Zhao Feng's biggest reliance was still his god's spiritual eye, so Zhao Feng placed more emphasis on his soul. The reason why he was strengthening his body was so that he could deal with the true god lightning tribulation in the future. Furthermore, the new ability of his left eye duplication used a lot of eye intent. Without a powerful soul, this ability of Zhao Feng's would be greatly reduced. Zhao Feng circulated the 10,000 divine thoughts technique and started to multitask. First, Zhao Feng drank some pond water. The pond water didn't have much of an effect on Zhao Feng's body, so most of the energy was transferred to his soul. Part of Zhao Feng's consciousness then started to comprehend some of the secret techniques and techniques of the earth of wind lightning. The last part of his consciousness stayed in the dimension of his god eye. Now that Zhao Feng had 2 god tribulation heads, he had twice as much god tribulation lightning left. Although it was still very little, it was better than nothing. After all, god tribulation lightning was something that couldn't be found. However, Zhao Feng wasn't in a rush to absorb the god tribulation lightning. Instead, he tried to use the mysterious golden ball to duplicate it. Zhao Feng first duplicated the cultivation resources he needed and then slowly increased the quality. He wanted to know the limits of this duplication ability. Just like that, Zhao Feng entered seclusion to increase his strength in all aspects. At the same time, Zhao Feng used the Dark Heart Seal to communicate with Bai Qingwei and understand what was going on in the outside world. In this period of time, the elders of the Earth Demon cult also personally came to apologize and gave large amounts of compensation. Furthermore, The battle between the Hall of Gods and Nine Darkness Palace made the Hall of Gods famous. Now that they had obtained a large amount of resources, the Hall of Gods was able to quickly expand into the continent. The Silence Assassination Division's mission to assassinate the upper echelon members of Nine Darkness Palace continued. After all, Nine Darkness Palace didn't have any evidence to prove that it was the Hall of Gods. Nine Darkness Palace only used protection and deterrence in this situation. Not long ago, the 19th ranked assassin of the Silence Assassination Division was captured by Nine Darkness Palace and executed. On the other side, Black Screen Corner didn't say anything about the development of the Silence Assassination Division. In the blink of an eye, half a year passed. Zhao Feng's 5-elemental wind lightning technique and the Golden Kuin's sacred lightning body had both consolidated at the early stages of the 9th level. His soul intent had increased, and his overall strength had increased. Master, demigod Kuin Yin, didn't leave after arriving on the battlefield. On this day, Qingyue sent this information to Zhao Feng. The situation on the battlefield was developing very quickly. After demigod Kuin Yin arrived on the battlefield and realized that he had been tricked, he didn't rush back. Instead, he chose to stay on the battlefield. Zhao Feng thought that Kuin Yin probably wanted to accumulate war points and exchange them for resources to increase his strength. There weren't any late-stage Mystic Light Realm experts on the battlefield yet, but Kuin Yin's actions sped up the progress of the battle, and the strength of the battle power on the battlefield increased once more. No, I need to go to the battlefield. Zhao Feng's eyes became grim. Zhao Feng had originally lured Kuin Yin to the battlefield because he thought that Kuin Yin would immediately return after discovering that Zhao Feng wasn't there. This meant that Kuin Yin would waste most of his time on the way back, and his strength would stop increasing. However, the result exceeded Zhao Feng's expectations. Since that was the case, Zhao Feng could only find Kuin Yin before his strength increased dramatically and resolved the enmity between them. After all, Zhao Feng's strength had already consolidated to the peak, and he could still talk to Kuin Yin. Otherwise, once Kuin Yin's strength recovered to the level of a demigod, it would be over for Zhao Feng. Nan Gongsheng, do you want to go to the battlefield? Zhao Feng messaged Nan Gongsheng. Apart from absorbing the power of the evil god, Nan Gongsheng also took on assassination missions over the past half a year. He was at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm now, and he was the #1 assassin in the Silence Assassination Division. Chapter 1057. Battlefield. Nan Gongsheng suddenly opened his eyes, and an invisible wicked power slowly spread. I'm going to see Kuin Yin. Zhao Feng messaged. Talking to the demigod Kuin Yin was one thing, but Zhao Feng also wanted to see Yufei. Furthermore, while Zhao Feng was back, Zhao Yufei had stayed with the 13th Princess faction and helped him achieve many things. Zhao Feng had to stop her. I'll go. The Silence Assassination Division isn't suitable for me, Nan Gongsheng said in a low tone. Nan Gongsheng's cultivation was too high. It was already pretty good if there were 1 or 2 assassination missions in the Silence Assassination Division that reached his level. Furthermore, Nan Gongsheng had heard a lot of news from the front lines. The situation on the battlefield had been developing quickly, and the level of battle had increased. Even late-stage Sacred Lords had appeared. From the looks of it, going to the battlefield was much more interesting than staying in the Silence Assassination Division. Good. Prepare yourself. We'll leave a month, Zhao Feng said. Nan Gongsheng knew a bit about the conflict between Zhao Feng and Kuin Yin. Zhao Feng wanted to test Nan Gongsheng, but when Nan Gongsheng heard that Zhao Feng was going to see Kuin Yin, he didn't show any intentions of helping him. Instead, he cared more about killing enemies. From the looks of it, Nan Gongsheng had been affected by the fight with Nine Darkness Palace. He had absorbed a lot of the power of the evil god to increase his strength, and this caused his relatively stable mind to become unstable. Zhao Feng also needed to prepare in a month's time. With a thought, Zhao Feng entered the dimension of his left eye. Success! Zhao Feng revealed a joyful expression. This time, The item that Zhao Feng chose to duplicate was an extremely high-quality resource, the Earth Spirit Golden Striped Ganoderma. He didn't expect that the mysterious golden ball would be able to duplicate such a precious resource in just 5 days. However, over the past few days, Zhao Feng's eye intent had been at a low level, and he had used up a lot of Yuan Qi. The eye intent affected the power of Zhao Feng's eye bloodline techniques, and the Yuan Qi affected everything in Zhao Feng's physical body. If Zhao Feng's Yuan Qi was severely damaged, it could damage his foundation, which would be extremely difficult to recover from. Based on a value of the Earth Spirit Golden Pattern Zoisha, Zhao Feng roughly estimated that an item that was 1 grade higher would be the limit of what Zhao Feng could replicate. It's almost equivalent to a heaven-ranked, mid-grade, divine weapon. Zhao Feng was slightly shocked. In other words, as long as Zhao Feng was given enough time and resources, Zhao Feng could even replicate divine weapons in batches. Similarly, Zhao Feng also confirmed that it was impossible to use this ability to replicate the God-slaying arrow. Even if he could replicate the God-slaying arrow, it would still be extremely difficult. Next, Zhao Feng's consciousness sank into the mysterious golden ball, and in the next instant he arrived at the ancient dream realm. In the ancient dream realm, there were only a few golden-winged scarlet tigers near the pond. Zhao Feng had already given the order for the other golden-winged scarlet tigers to explore the entire forest. Master, apart from the earth-shattering raging bulls and the sky-fire-lightning ape, there are no other threats in this forest. The leader of the golden-winged scarlet tigers reported to Zhao Feng. Master, these are the resources we've obtained. The golden-winged scarlet tiger took out many rare herbs from its little world, and a strong medicinal aroma spread out instantly. Not bad. Zhao Feng put away all the ancient resources. There were many unknown treasures in Zhao Feng's misty spatial world, and they were all obtained from the Black Wind Canyon last time. Zhao Feng didn't dare to take out these unknown treasures and let others identify them, so he could only store them for now. What are our chances of winning against the earth-shattering raging bulls? Zhao Feng asked. The earth-shattering raging bulls were ranked in the top 30 of the 10,000 ancient races, so there was a certain difference between the two. Now that Master's strength has increased, we have a 50% chance of winning. The leader of the golden-winged scarlet tigers thought for a moment before replying. 50%? Zhao Feng's eyebrows furrowed. Back then, Zhao Feng and 5B emperors had to use their full strength to defeat this golden-winged scarlet tiger. Now that Zhao Feng had broken through to the mystic light realm, he could defeat the leader of the golden-winged scarlet tigers by himself. The leader of the golden-winged scarlet tigers obviously knew this, but it still said this. From this, one could see that the earth-shattering raging bulls were not simple. Looks like I should help you guys, Zhao Feng said slowly. Zhao Feng wanted to dig out resources from the ancient dream realm, mainly by enslaving ancient beasts. Ever since Zhao Feng enslaved these golden-winged scarlet tigers, he forgot to help them. One had to know that this golden-winged scarlet tiger leader was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, but had the strength of a late-stage mystic light realm. Its sole intent was only at the early stages of the mystic light realm, which was why Zhao Feng was only able to defeat it when he was only a quasi-sacred lord. However, nurturing the golden-winged scarlet tigers was a tough task for Zhao Feng. Almost all the golden-winged scarlet tigers here had reached the level of a sacred lord. They lived in the ancient dream realm and were extremely strong in all aspects. What should Zhao Feng use to nurture them? In the end, Zhao Feng made a decision. Tell all the golden-winged scarlet tigers to use up all the energy in this pond, and then attack the earth-shattering raging bulls race, Zhao Feng said after taking away some of the pond water. He would have to rely on the resources in the ancient dream realm to nurture the golden-winged scarlet tigers. At the same time, Zhao Feng decided to use his duplication ability to duplicate resources from the ancient dream realm to increase the battle power of the golden-winged scarlet tigers. After we successfully attack the earth-shattering raging bulls race, we'll head toward the area behind the forest. The only way to obtain resources was to keep exploring. The golden-winged scarlet tigers nodded their heads. They understood Zhao Feng's ambition. After saying that, Zhao Feng left the ancient dream realm. By Qingwei, I'll be heading to the front lines soon. Zhao Feng communicated with by Qingwei through the Dark Heart Seal and started to tell her everything. Zhao Feng then discussed the future development of the Silence Assassination Division with Supreme Emperor Dark Knight. Zhao Feng then went to Sacred Dr. Jade Spirit's Alchemy Pavilion and took out another golden-winged scarlet tiger and 3 bottles of pond water from the ancient dream realm for her. Zhao Feng then took out the ancient herbs that he had obtained from the ancient dream realm after returning to the Forbidden Grounds. Spirit Gathering Soul Refining Grass. It can condense soul intent and heal injuries to the soul. It's also a great ingredient for some Tao of the soul spiritual pills. The Spirit Gathering Soul Refining Grass was one of the most valuable Tao of the soul. After eating it, Zhao Feng felt a strong surge of wood elemental soul power slowly spread through Zhao Feng's soul. At the same time, a surge of wood elemental intent appeared in Zhao Feng's mind. A month later, Zhao Feng opened his eyes and an invisible surge of mental energy spread out. My soul intent has become stronger. It's far stronger than normal early-stage mystic light realms. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. This was his first time using a treasure from the ancient dream realm, and the effect was unexpectedly good. Zhao Feng could absorb normal treasure from the continent zone in 5 days at most, but the Spirit Gathering Soul Refining Grass from the ancient dream realm took such a long time for Zhao Feng. From this, one could see how strong its effect was. Several ancient resources also appeared in front of Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had duplicated them using the mysterious golden ball during his month of seclusion. Zhao Feng's figure appeared outside the hall. Nan Gongsheng had been waiting there for a long time. Let's go, Zhao Feng said. Shua. Zhao Feng waved the arm guard in his hand, and their figures started to fade and disappear amidst a layer of silver light. If it was just Zhao Feng by himself, Zhao Feng would be able to travel an entire province and recover his energy, and he would be able to arrive at the front lines in around 5 days. However, this time, Zhao Feng was carrying an early-stage mystic light realm sacred lord, which greatly increased his energy consumption, so he had to shorten the distance. As expected of a substandard god weapon, the misty spatial world. It's so convenient. Nan Gongsheng licked his lips as a weird light flashed through his eyes. Zhao Feng's eyes focused. He could see the greed in Nan Gongsheng's eyes. From the looks of it, Nan Gongsheng's rationality and personality had been twisted by the power of the evil god. Nan Gongsheng, try this. Zhao Feng took out a flask of pond water from the ancient dream realm. Nan Gongsheng scanned it with his divine sense and hesitated for a moment before drinking it. The evil aura around his body then started to weaken. Around 10 days later, Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng arrived at the front lines. Since Zhao Feng had left spatial coordinates in Meng City, Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng went straight to Meng City. However, at this moment, Meng City was like a city in the sky. There was only one emperor, several kings, and several hundred great origin core realm experts. With Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng's cultivation, no one would be able to find them if they wanted to hide themselves. Looks like the situation of the war is changing very quickly, Zhao Feng murmured. According to what he knew, the situation at the front lines was extremely intense. It wasn't as simple as just defending the cities anymore. Instead, they split up their forces and started to fight for every inch of land. Even the generals guarding the cities personally led a small group into the battlefield. The Ninth Prince was no exception. Let's go to the battlefield. Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng left Meng City. The battle power at the front lines was extremely high, and danger was everywhere. Kuan Yun and Yu Fei would definitely come looking for them if they killed the enemies and made a name for themselves. This was Zhao Feng's current plan. The Hall of Gods didn't need Zhao Feng's resources anymore. On the contrary, it was Zhao Feng who used the Hall of Gods to gather resources. However, this was far from enough. Just the resources that Zhao Feng needed for his own cultivation were comparable to the wealth of a sacred king. Zhao Feng also needed to raise the golden-winged scarlet tigers from the ancient dream realm. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng sped across the sky. The two arrived at the battlefield within 2 days. With Zhao Feng's super eyesight, he soon found a non-human group. The leader was a quasi-sacred lord, and apart from 3 void god realm emperors, everyone else was an elite king. Emperor Blade River. There's a situation in the southwest. A member of the team who was good at scouting said. Then, 2 figures dashed toward them at high speed. Just the 2 of them. Are those 2 humans idiots? Just the 2 of them, and they dare to walk around the battlefield so fearlessly? Some of the non-human kings in the group started to laugh. A bunch of idiots. Run. The leader, Emperor Blade River, had a pale white expression as he turned into a streak of white light and escaped. Emperor Blade River's intent had touched the level of a sacred lord. According to his senses, those 2 were definitely sacred lords, and the purple and blood-haired male gave him a strong sense of danger. Physical force lightning domain. Zhao Feng flew above this group and released a desolate surge of physical force lightning from his sacred lightning body. In the blink of an eye, the area within 1,000 miles turned into a dark, lightning-filled space. All of the outsiders who had stopped in the area were instantly killed. Not a single one survived. The effect of Zhao Feng's Earth of Wind Lightning, when used with the physical force lightning domain, doubled. Even normal Mystic Light Realm experts would find it hard to move within Zhao Feng's physical force lightning domain. Whoosh! Seeing that Zhao Feng had finished off all the non-humans, Nan Gongsheng turned into a streak of purple and blood-colored light and chased after the quasi-sacred lord that was running away. How is this possible? Why are there 2 saint lords with such strong battle prowess here? Are the humans starting to counterattack? Emperor Blade River's body trembled as if he had fallen into an ice house when he saw Zhao Feng take action. Whoosh! A purple and blood-colored figure suddenly descended, and Emperor Blade River's movements became extremely slow. Crack! The purple and blood-colored figures formed a purple and blood-colored demonic claw that grabbed Emperor Blade River and crushed the body and soul of this non-human quasi-sacred lord. Chapter 1058. After destroying this non-human group, Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng continued to search for prey in the 9th Prince's group. It didn't take long before Zhao Feng's left I discovered another non-human team. This time, the leader of this team was a Sacred Lord expert. Let's go. Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled. Although late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords had appeared on the battlefield, there were only 2 or 3 of them in an entire province. Therefore, the strongest battle power on the battlefield was still at the initial stage Mystic Light Realm. Humans are attacking. The Wolfman Sacred Lord and the non-human group sensed that something was wrong. The entire group of 30 to 40 experts immediately went into a wary state. 2 humans. The Wolfman Sacred Lord's heart jumped. He immediately realized that the other 2 were only at the initial stage Mystic Light Realm, and the purple and blood-haired youth gave off a dangerous feeling. Retreat while fighting. The Wolfman leader's eyes became grim as he ordered. The humans have sent more Sacred Lords? One of the peak martial monarchs was slightly surprised. Although the number of initial stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords was increasing, they had never seen 2 Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords in one group. Their group could be considered one of the strongest groups on the battlefield, but they had to retreat when facing 2 Sacred Lords. Whoosh! Whoosh! Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng charged over. This time, Zhao Feng charged toward the Wolfman's Sacred Lord and left the other members to Nan Gongsheng. A large purple and blood-colored divine light spread behind Nan Gongsheng's back and merged into the air. Heaven and earth instantly fell into a wicked purple and blood-colored dimension. Nan Gongsheng's figure moved around in the projection of his little world like a ghost. Not good. I underestimated their strength. The Wolfman's Sacred Lord's heart went cold when he felt the terrifying power of the little world projection. Art, the essence and blood of the non-human enemies in Nan Gongxing's little world projection, started to fade. Some of the weaker kings turned into dry corpses. How can this be? Some of the stronger, non-human martial monarchs were astounded. They didn't expect these two young sacred lords to have such terrifying battle power. They couldn't fight back at all in front of these two humans. Roar! The Wolfman's sacred lord instantly used a secret technique to activate his bloodline. He turned into a giant azure wolf and sped off into the distance. At the same time, this divine lord crushed a message talisman. A beam of light shot into the void and disappeared. The Wolfman's sacred lord suddenly felt a strong sense of danger coming closer and closer. With Zhao Feng's speed, it was easy for him to catch up to this werewolf holy lord. Sky-shattering sacred lightning palm. Zhao Feng condensed his wind lightning force and unleashed a tyrannical scarlet golden palm shadow. Although Zhao Feng's earth of wind lightning was of a higher level, it focused on defense and control. When it came to attacking, Zhao Feng still used the fire of wind lightning. This power, the Wolfman's sacred lord felt a sense of danger that he had never felt before. The palm seemed to merge with heaven and earth intent and sealed off all his paths of retreat. The Wolfman's sacred lord immediately turned around, and a surge of green mystic light, sacred power, started to burn. The Wolfman race didn't specialize in defense. For them, offense was the best defense. Green wolf, sacred light. The Wolfman's sacred lord, who had turned into an azure wolf, opened his mouth and spat out a surge of mystic light, sacred power that had been compressed to the limit. However, when this wave of green sacred light landed on Zhao Feng's scarlet golden sacred lightning palm, it only made Zhao Feng's sacred lightning palm pause for a moment. Boom! The scarlet golden sacred lightning palm smashed forward and annihilated the terrifying power of the green light wave. Boom! The remaining power of the palm landed on the azure wolf and sent it flying several miles away. Whoosh! Zhao Feng immediately followed and unleashed several palms to take the life of this non-human sacred lord. Very simply, Zhao Feng and Nan Gongxiang had destroyed one of the strongest non-human groups in this war zone. Just like that, the duo roamed around the war zone outside of Meng City. Every non-human group that they found was annihilated without a single survivor. At the same time, they met many human groups. Zhao Feng finally found the Ninth Prince's group through their information. In the ruins of a palace. Who's there? The eyes of a middle-aged male wearing black and gold robes in the Ninth Prince's group flashed, and a sharp and powerful aura instantly spread. Zhao Feng, you're here? The Ninth Prince flew out from the group. Zhao Feng. The expression of this middle-aged male in black and gold robes changed slightly as he looked at the two youths flying over. News of the battle between the Hall of Gods and Nine Darkness Palace had spread across the Great Gone Lord dynasty, and the front lines were no exception. The Hall of Gods, a new force that had just been created, was able to fight back against a late-stage mystic light realm elder of Nine Darkness Palace. There were even rumors that the Grand Elder of the Hall of Gods, Zhao Feng, had chased Elder Demonic Abyss across an entire province. In the end, the Grand Elder of the Earth Demon Cult had to take action to end the chase. The other emperors and kings in the group all looked at Zhao Feng with respect, envy, and jealousy. Senior Zhao, the three disciples of the Ji family, were also in the Ninth Prince's group. The three of them were no longer as immature as they were before. Instead, they looked more mature. Jilan was the most beautiful of them all. She was like a lotus in autumn, elegant and quiet. She had a lot of suitors on the battlefield. This is an upper echelon member of the Grand Imperial Hall, Sacred Lord Gongwang. The Ninth Prince introduced to Zhao Feng. Greetings, Senior. Zhao Feng gave a slight bow when he saw the Ninth Prince's gaze. The strength of the Ninth Prince's group was the strongest that Zhao Feng had seen so far. Sacred Lord Gongwang was the strongest expert in the group, and he was at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm. However, there were two quasi-sacred lords in the group, and the other members weren't peak experts. Zhao Feng, I've heard of you a long time ago. This should be Nin Gongsheng, right? Sacred Lord Gong Wang inspected the two youths in front of him and didn't dare to underestimate them. That's right, Nan Gongsheng said. Zihong, with your friend's help, we can advance and wipe out the non-human groups in front of us. Sacred Lord Gong Wang suggested. Because of what happened with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, the Grand Imperial Hall was worried about the Ninth Prince's safety, so they sent the stronger Sacred Lord Gong Wang away. Thank you, Zhao Feng, the Ninth Prince said with a faint smile. Not long after Zhao Feng left, the princes started to secretly gather people to increase their own battle power and achieve many things. For example, the 13th prince originally had the support of Zhao Yufei Palace and the Earth Demon Cult, but Zhao Yufei suddenly arrived. From then on, the 13th prince was unstoppable. He took back a lot of Great Gon territory and defeated many non-human sacred lords. The Great Gon Imperials were extremely satisfied with his performance. In the end, the non-humans sent Sacred Lord Myriad Forms to stop the 13th prince. Ever since Zhao Feng left, the forces led by the 9th prince didn't do anything, and they started to lose their glory. Zhao Feng's ranking on the Lan Province War Board also dropped, and he was now ranked 273rd. However, now that Zhao Feng had returned to the battlefield, he was a sacred lord, and he even brought Nan Gongsheng, who had the power of the evil god. The morale of the Ninth Prince's group was extremely high. Many of the members had followed the Ninth Prince to this point, and they couldn't help but think back to when they broke through 2 cities and forced Sacred Lord Myriad Forms to retreat. Let's head out. The Ninth Prince was filled with confidence. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. A group with 3 sacred lords hadn't appeared yet. Although it was a bit too eye-catching, that was what Zhao Feng wanted. If Kuan Yin heard news of Zhao Feng, he would definitely rush over. Of course, Zhao Yufei was there as well. The Ninth Prince's group then quickly moved through the battlefield and killed all the non-human groups they met. They were unstoppable. In just 10 days, they had pushed forward 10 million miles outside of Meng City and were about to reach the stronghold of the non-humans. On this day, the Ninth Prince's group stopped at a canyon to rest. I heard that the non-humans have already reacted and sent more sacred lords to this area. That doesn't have much to do with us. With the strength of our group, we don't need to be afraid. The members of the group chatted casually. Shua, Zhao Feng's figure disappeared and entered the misty spatial world. Zhao Feng then took out some resources that he had duplicated recently from the dimension of his left eye. In the next instant, Zhao Feng entered the ancient dream realm. At this moment, the pond in the center of the forest had completely dried up. It had been used up by the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the 5 poisoned distinct bees. In this period of time, Zhao Feng would often send in some of the ancient resources that he had duplicated. The overall strength of the golden-winged scarlet tigers had increased by 50% compared to before. Attack the earth-shattering raging bulls race. Zhao Feng ordered and led the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the 5 poisoned distinct bees toward the territory of the earth-shattering raging bulls race. In the outside world, Zhao Feng's figure suddenly disappeared, and it surprised many of the members. I heard that Senior Zhao has a substandard god weapon. The substandard god weapon has a large little world that can be entered and exited at will. That's right, this substandard god weapon came from the ancient mysterious palace in the divine illusion dimension. Back then, so many geniuses were there, but this substandard god weapon ended up in Senior Zhao's hands. Some of the kings and emperors that admired Zhao Feng talked about Zhao Feng on the way. With a whoosh, Zhao Feng's figure returned to this dimension. Zhao Feng, let's get ready to go. The Ninth Prince said after seeing that Zhao Feng had finished what he was doing. Before the reinforcements of the non-humans arrived, they could take over some territory and kill some non-human groups to obtain war points. Zhao Feng took out some resources that could recover Yuan, Qi, and Mystic Light, Sacred Power, and ate them. I've successfully taken over the earth-shattering Raging Bulls race. Now, I just need to defeat the strongest expert in this forest, the Sky, Fire, Lightning Ape, and this forest will be my territory. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. After defeating the earth-shattering Raging Bulls race, Zhao Feng had obtained many new resources. Most of them were earth elemental ores and resources. However, Zhao Feng needed to be careful when dealing with the Sky Fire Lightning Ape. The Sky Fire Lightning Ape was ranked 9,412th among the 10,000 ancient races. It was several hundred ranks lower than the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the earth-shattering Raging Bulls. The lucky thing was that according to the golden-winged scarlet tiger's intelligence, there was only one Sky Fire Lightning Ape in this forest, but its strength was so strong that even the leader of the golden-winged scarlet tigers didn't dare to get too close. It was the absolute ruler of this forest. It's been a long time since I've seen a non-human group. Sacred Lord Gong Wang felt that something was wrong and suddenly said, our group is too strong. The non-humans might have already abandoned this place. It's all thanks to Senior Zhao and Senior Nangong. Some of the kings in the group laughed and said they didn't need to do anything to obtain war points by following the three sacred lords. However, right at this moment, heaven and earth suddenly became dark. Heaven and earth Yuan Qi started to surge as wind, rain, lightning, and fire descended. A non-human group quickly flew over from the distance. The leader was tall and had a pair of rainbow-colored eyes that seemed to contain everything in heaven and earth. Chapter 1059. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Sacred Lord Gong Wang said in shock, "All king-level members, retreat immediately." The Ninth Prince immediately ordered. The three Sacred Lords in the Ninth Prince's group could deal with Sacred Lord Myriad Forms alone. However, there was an elephant-human Sacred Lord with a terrifying aura next to Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. It was just that his aura was covered by the eyes of Myriad Forms. Whoosh! Whoosh! Everyone below the level of an emperor immediately retreated. Even emperors and quasi-sacred lords retreated far away. Zhao Feng, you finally dared to come to the battlefield. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms revealed an excited and deadly smile. Back then, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was forced into desperation by Zhao Feng's arrow and almost died. How could he not take revenge? However, Zhao Feng had already left the battlefield after Sacred Lord Myriad Forms recovered from his injuries. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms then roamed around the battlefield in search of Zhao Feng, causing the hearts of the humans to shake. Luckily, Zhao Yufei appeared on the battlefield at the very last moment and displayed shocking battle power that attracted the attention of the non-humans. The non-humans then sent Sacred Lord Myriad Forms to deal with the 13th Prince. Nan Gongxing's eyes flashed as he licked his lips and started to circulate the evil power within his body. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, I didn't manage to kill you last time, and now you're here to die. Zhao Feng smiled. Now that he had broken through to the mystic light realm, fighting against Sacred Lord Myriad Forms wasn't a problem anymore. As for the late-stage mystic light realm Sacred Lords next to Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, he could just leave them to Nan Gongsheng. Nan Gongsheng hadn't met a single decent opponent on the way here, and he was getting impatient. Stop boasting. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms revealed a disdainful look. If it wasn't for the fact that Zhao Feng used that powerful arrow last time, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms wouldn't have lost. Furthermore, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms completely consolidated his cultivation while he was healing. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's strength had increased by quite a bit. He didn't believe that Zhao Feng had more arrows like that. Even if Zhao Feng did have more, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms would be able to escape last time. Zhao Feng sneered. If Zhao Feng had shot out a dark golden arrow that targeted the soul, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms wouldn't have been able to escape. Elder Sky Trampler, I'll leave the other two humans to you. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms said to the Elephant Man, Sacred Lord next to him. In order to kill Zhao Feng, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms paid a huge price and asked Sacred Lord Sky Trampler, an elder of his race. Of course, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms didn't ask Sacred Lord Sky Trampler to help him deal with Zhao Feng. He only asked Sacred Lord Sky Trampler to stall the other Sacred Lords. Zhao Feng had to be slaughtered by him. I don't put two early-stage mystic light realms in my eyes. Sacred Lord Sky, Trampler had an arrogant expression, but his gaze lingered on Nan Gongsheng for a moment. Whoosh! The two elephant-human sacred lords instantly moved, and their magnificent power shook heaven and earth. Myriad, Earth Domain. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's eyes of myriad forms suddenly started to spin, and heaven and earth started to tremble as a powerful intent of nature appeared. Suddenly, the entire world was covered in a layer of dark yellow mist, and an extremely terrifying pressure descended upon them. This was the eyes of myriad forms, changing the element of heaven and earth. It was different from domains, and there was no way to break it. Nan Gongsheng and Sacred Lord Gonghuang's bodies suddenly became heavy, and they felt as if they were being obstructed. Boom! Sacred Lord Sky Trampler stomped down with one foot, and a dark yellow mystic light, sacred power, appeared. Space nearby started to tremble as the intent of Earth was controlled by him. Not good. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms has changed the elements of heaven and earth, and Sacred Lord Sky Trampler also cultivates an earth elemental technique. Sacred Lord Gonghuang's expression became grim. Being a late-stage Sacred Lord Sky Trampler already had the advantage. With the help of the power of heaven and earth, Sacred Lord Sky Trampler would only become stronger. However, in comparison, he didn't want to face Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Wong boom. Killing intent flashed through Nan Gongsheng's eyes as a purple and blood-colored divine light shot out from his back and entered a small area of heaven and earth, causing some damage to the Myriad Forms Earth world. What a powerful little world projection. Sacred Lord Gonghuang was overjoyed. Boom! Nan Gongsheng ignored Sacred Lord Gonghuang and charged forward. His dominating little world power was able to break through the suppression of the Myriad Forms Earth world. Sky Trampling Stance. Sacred Lord Sky Trampler circulated a technique and suddenly raised his right foot before stomping it down. A terrifying surge of earth elemental power seemed to explode through space and charge toward Nan Gongsheng. Whoosh! Sacred Lord Gonghuang immediately released the power of his little world projection to fight back against the dark yellow world and help Nan Gongsheng. Nan Gongsheng's battle power made him overjoyed, but it was hard for Nan Gongsheng to deal with Sacred Lord Sky Trampler alone. Once he was defeated, Sacred Lord Gonghuang wouldn't be Sacred Lord Sky Trampler's match. Boom! Pung! Pung! The Ninth Prince led some peak emperors and quasi-sacred lords outside of the Sacred Lord battlefield and fought against several non-human experts. At the center of this dark yellow world, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and Zhao Feng had already taken action. Sacred Lightning Dominating Body. Zhao Feng circulated the earth of wind lightning and merged it into his sacred lightning body. Zhao Feng's sacred body instantly grew taller, and a layer of sparkling yellow lightning appeared on it. It was as if he had become a golden god of war. Zhao Feng used the lightning wings flying technique and charged towards Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. He's not affected by the Myriad Forms Earth world. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms said in shock as he looked at Zhao Feng's figure. Because he had fought with Zhao Feng before, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms knew that Zhao Feng didn't specialize in the elements of earth or metal. This was why Sacred Lord Myriad Forms invited Sacred Lord Sky Trampler, who cultivated an earth elemental technique and was prepared to use the power of earth to quickly kill Zhao Feng. However, he didn't expect Zhao Feng to comprehend the element of earth this time. Sword of Sharp Metal. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms circulated his rainbow-colored mystic light, sacred power, and instantly turned it into an attack of pure metal. Earth gave birth to metal, so his sword of sharp metal wasn't affected at all in this environment. Whoosh! Several hundred golden swords pierced through space and stabbed toward Zhao Feng. Physical Force Lightning Domain, Fire of Wind Lightning. Fire countered metal, so Zhao Feng circulated the fire of wind lightning and formed a physical force lightning domain. A scarlet golden domain of lightning instantly appeared around Zhao Feng's body, along with a terrifying heat. The golden swords that just got close were instantly suppressed by lightning, fire, and physical force. Tornado of wind lightning. Zhao Feng waved his hand, and a terrifying ball of fire of wind lightning that contained the power of God Tribulation lightning welcomed Sacred Lord Myriad Form's attack. His fire elemental power can break through my metal intent. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms paused and was slightly surprised. He didn't know that Zhao Feng specialized in the element of fire, and the Blood Devil Sun bloodline within Zhao Feng's body was also a fire elemental bloodline. Take this move from me. Zhao Feng suddenly thrust out his palm. The current him wasn't scared of Sacred Lord Myriad Forms at all. This move from Zhao Feng didn't contain any element. It was purely the power of the tyrant body. This was because he knew that the owner of the eyes of Myriad Forms had a strong defense against any element of nature. Otherwise, Zhao Feng's substandard god-slaying arrow would have been able to kill Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Child play. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms squinted his eyes, and the power of earth in front of him formed a dark yellow wall of earth that blocked off everything. Boom! Pung! Pung! Zhao Feng's pure physical force was blocked by the wall. After all, the intent of earth specialized in defense. Mental energy spike. Zhao Feng suddenly circulated his left eye, and a purple and gold crystal-like spike of lightning pierced through the wall and into Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul. Arg! Sacred Lord Myriad Forms instantly screamed as lightning struck his soul, causing his soul to tremble. Looks like soul eye bloodline techniques are the most effective against you, Zhao Feng said. The eyes of Myriad Forms had the ability to attack and defend in the physical dimension. No element of nature would be able to harm it. Damn it, this human's eyes are soul elemental. The lines in Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes started to spin. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms knew that his weakness was his soul, so he cultivated a defensive, soul-based secret technique. However, he didn't expect Zhao Feng to still be able to injure him. Golden Sword Storm. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms released a large amount of mystic light, sacred power, and prepared to quickly finish off Zhao Feng. Forbidden Illusion Lost World. Zhao Feng used the lightning wings flying technique and instantly closed in on Sacred Lord Myriad Forms while using a soul eye bloodline technique. Zhao Feng's left eye turned into a limitless purple and gold maze world that radiated a fatal attraction. Wang, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' gaze unconsciously landed on Zhao Feng's eyes, and he instantly felt as if his consciousness wasn't under his control. His battle technique was also interrupted by Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique. Wang, Zhao Feng suddenly stopped using the Forbidden Illusion Lost World, and a shocking surge of eye bloodline flames appeared in his left eye. Purple light spun around it, and Dark God Tribulation lightning symbols appeared. Wind lightning, eye flame. Zhao Feng immediately used an eye bloodline technique, while Sacred Lord Myriad Forms hadn't recovered yet, and his soul intent was still weak. A ball of dark purple lightning fire exploded in Sacred Lord Myriad Form's head and started to burn. The current situation made Zhao Feng remember the first time he fought against Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Zhao Feng was continuously attacked by Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, and he could only react accordingly. This time, Sacred Lord Myriad Forms had to face Zhao Feng's continuous soul attacks. Damn it, this brat. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul was severely injured, and he was extremely angry. His eyes of Myriad Forms could control the power of Myriad Forms, but Zhao Feng had also comprehended many elements, such as wood, water, fire, earth, wind, etc. This meant that Zhao Feng had a certain level of immunity towards the power of the eyes of Myriad Forms. However, Zhao Feng's left eye specialized in soul attacks, and Sacred Lord Myriad Forms didn't have this immunity. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms suddenly realized that he was being countered by Zhao Feng. Myriad Forms Dimension. The lines in Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes suddenly started to spin. At that instant, heaven and earth seemed to tremble as countless elements moved through the air. It was as if the entire world was about to be destroyed. Not good. He's going to release the myriad forms dimension. Zhao Feng's heart moved. The myriad forms dimension was one of Sacred Lord Myriad Form's killing moves, and Zhao Feng had personally seen it before. I can't let him release the myriad forms dimension. Zhao Feng's expression became grim. Zhao Feng was suppressed too much within the myriad forms dimension, and Zhao Feng knew that Sacred Lord Myriad Forms still had the laws of yin and yang as his killing move. Who? The scarlet golden wings on Zhao Feng's back fluttered as he approached Sacred Lord Myriad Forms once more. Gaze of the God Eye. A shocking surge of eye bloodline power appeared from Zhao Feng's left eye and formed a bottomless purple whirlpool that connected to a purple abyss that was covered in mist. A forbidden power that could suck away one's soul instantly covered Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. This forbidden power was like the power of God. It was unstoppable and unstoppable. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's soul suddenly shook and started to separate from his body. What is this? Sacred Lord Myriad Form's heart shook. If he continued to use the eyes of Myriad Forms and release the Myriad Forms dimension, he wouldn't be able to protect his soul. Chapter 1060. What is this? Sacred Lord Myriad Form's heart shook. If he continued to use the eyes of Myriad Forms and the Myriad Forms dimension, he wouldn't be able to protect his soul. However, if he didn't release the Wanxiang space, he realized that he wasn't a match for Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's expression was calm as he used the gaze of the God Eye with his left eye to suppress Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and slowly drag his soul out. At the same time, Zhao Feng released his divine sense and observed Nan Gongsheng's battle. Demonic chaos. Nan Gongsheng circulated his purple and blood-colored mystic light, sacred power, and punched out, creating terrifying silver and purple afterimages. He was like an ancient demon that roared and roared. Sacred Lord Sky Trampler, who was in the Myriad Forms Earth world, fell into a passive situation. Is this Nan Gongsheng's true power? Sacred Lord Gong Wang was shocked. He felt that Nan Gongsheng was enough to deal with Sacred Lord Sky Trampler without him doing anything. Blood Demon Claw. A bloodthirsty smile appeared on Nan Gongsheng's face as he formed a giant purple and blood-colored claw that slammed towards Sacred Lord Sky Trampler. Sacred Lord Sky Trampler had an ugly expression as he activated the power of his bloodline, and a terrifying aura of hatred instantly erupted. Heaven-shattering stomp. The image of a dark elephant appeared on Sacred Lord Sky Trampler's body. The ancient dark elephant lifted its front foot and stomped down. A flow of terrifying physical strength, accompanied by the heavy profound of earth, spread out in all directions, shaking the earth and sky. Nan Gongsheng, I'll help you. Sacred Lord Gong Huang held the golden halberd in his hand and slashed out, unleashing a giant golden dragon. Boom! Bang! Nan Gongsheng and Sacred Lord Gong Huang teamed up and had the upper hand, suppressing Sacred Lord Sky Trampler. From the looks of it, as Nan Gongsheng's cultivation increases, his control over the power of the evil god has become even better. Zhao Feng said softly, "You little brat, you're still distracted by other things." Sacred Lord Myriad Forms was enraged. While Zhao Feng was fighting him, he was still concerned about the situation in other places. Who? Sacred Lord Myriad Forms' eyes of Myriad Forms suddenly spun. In the void, a colorful spiral pattern appeared, and then a figure jumped out from it. Sacred Lord Myriad Form soul was suppressed by Zhao Feng, so he couldn't release the Myriad Forms dimension. He could only release his clone. A clone? Zhao Feng's expression tightened. When using the gaze of the God Eye, he couldn't be distracted by other attacks, or else the gaze of the God Eye would be interrupted. However, Sacred Lords of the early stages of the Mystic Light realm, and above, all seem to have clones. To a certain degree, after breaking through to the Mystic Light realm, the effect of Zhao Feng's gaze of the God Eye decreased. Die! Sacred Lord Myriad Form's clone flashed with rainbow-colored sacred power as he charged toward Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng stopped the gaze of the god Eye and punched. Boom! A powerful and forceful force landed on Sacred Lord Myriad Form's clone. Before the attack arrived, Sacred Lord Myriad Form's clone's body had turned into stone, and a large amount of metal intent was mixed into the stone, increasing its defense and allowing it to take Zhao Feng's punch head-on. Boom! Sacred Lord Myriad Form's clone was instantly sent flying, and a giant hole appeared in its chest. Even though Sacred Lord Myriad Form's clone was fully focused on defense, it still wasn't able to block a single punch from Zhao Feng. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms used this chance to return his soul to his body and quickly increase the distance between him and Zhao Feng before putting his clone away. Sacred Lord Myriad Form's clone had comprehended many intents in the Myriad Forms dimension, and its understanding of the elements far surpassed others. However, Zhao Feng's punch still severely injured the clone and almost destroyed it. How is this possible? This human has grown so quickly. Fear appeared on Sacred Lord Myriad Form's face. In just 2 years, the human that he could easily crush had grown to the point where he was on par with him and even had the advantage. That is, Sacred Lord Myriad Form's eyes of Myriad Forms seemed to sense something. Zhao Feng's left eye also moved slightly. A small group of humans quickly flew over to the Ninth Prince's right. There were several abnormally powerful auras among them. Elder Sky Trampler, the humans' reinforcements have arrived. Retreat. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms immediately messaged as a surge of wind, lightning, surrounded his body and sped away. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms group wasn't a match for the Ninth Prince's group, and the group that was rushing over was not simple either. If they didn't run now, they might never be able to leave. On the other side, Sacred Lord Sky Trampler understood the situation and immediately ran. He relied on the dense intent of Earth nearby to escape extremely quickly. You want to run? Nan Gongsheng was having a good time fighting, and he immediately chased after Sacred Lord Sky Trampler after seeing him run away. Rumble. Boom. Boom. The wind in heaven and earth started to change as intent surged. A storm of ice started to appear in front of Nan Gongsheng, and the intent of ice instantly slowed down Nan Gongsheng's speed. Nan Gongsheng, don't chase after him. Zhao Feng called Nan Gongsheng back. Even if Zhao Feng chased after the eyes of Myriad Forms himself, he didn't have a high chance of catching up. The intent of the eyes of Myriad Forms could change the nature of heaven and earth. One moment, heaven and earth were cold, and the next moment, it was as if they were in a swamp. The eyes of Myriad Forms specialized in the intent of wind lightning, so their speed surpassed normal people. This meant that if one wanted to chase after Sacred Lord Myriad Forms, they would need to be able to resist the power of nature while still being faster than Sacred Lord Myriad Forms. Your Highness Crown Prince, you've been doing quite well recently. At this moment, a voice slowly sounded as the group approached. Brother 13th Prince, I can't compare to you. The 9th Prince had a calm expression. The newcomers were the 13th Prince's group. At the front of the group was a gorgeous, otherworldly, and peerless woman in a violet dress, and she instantly drew the gazes of everyone. Brother Feng. Zhao Yufei's eyes became watery as she looked at Zhao Feng below. There was nothing else in her eyes. It had been 9 years since she saw Zhao Feng in the Divine Illusion Dimension. It had been 9 years, and Zhao Yufei finally saw Zhao Feng again. Brother Feng, I finally see you again. A figure that was like purple smoke leapt into Zhao Feng's arms. Zhao Yufei's eyes became slightly red. While she was happy, she also wanted to cry. She had too many things that she wanted to say. Zhao Feng's vision blurred, and he felt a warm and beautiful figure leap into his arms. Her tears made his face wet. Yufei. Zhao Feng's emotions started to fluctuate. Excitement and sadness appeared at the same time, and he couldn't tell what he was thinking. Sister Yufei. On the side, the 13th Prince's face was red with anger. The Sacred Emperor and the Grand Elder of the Duanmu family had agreed to marry the two of them. However, the woman he loved had leapt into the arms of another man. This made the anger in his heart burn and want to explode. Master, Zhao Feng looked at Duanmu Qing, who was in the 13th Prince's group. There is also a sacred lord of the demonic Dao next to Duanmu Qing. This sacred lord looked coldly at Zhao Feng. At this moment, the members of the 9th Prince's group that had left the battlefield immediately returned. Jilan looked at the beautiful ice jade goddess in Zhao Feng's arms, and her heart moved slightly. She lowered her head and didn't say anything. More and more spectators appeared. Many of them were stunned and discussed softly. Zhao Yufei's face became slightly red as she let go of Zhao Feng. Sacred Lord Myriad Forms has already escaped. Let's take over the stronghold in front of us and talk. The 9th Prince could tell that the 13th Prince definitely wasn't here to help. He probably had something to discuss. The 9th Prince and the 13th Prince's groups then pushed forward. They didn't find any non-human groups along the way. It was obvious that the non-humans had already given up on the stronghold. They soon arrived at an empty city. Zhao Feng, Zhao Yufei, and Duanmu Qing gathered in a separate hall. Brother Feng, Zhao Yufei wanted to say what was bothering her, but she didn't know where to start or how to start. Her emotions were very messy. Although she had a noble bloodline and was extremely strong, she was just a normal girl when it came to relationships. I know, don't worry. No one can force you to do something you don't want to do. Zhao Feng had a solemn expression and a decisive tone. Zhao Feng had the determination to kill the 13th Prince a long time ago, but he didn't have the chance to do so. After that, the 13th Prince kept challenging Zhao Feng's bottom line. Zhao Feng had already made up his mind to kill the 13th Prince. As long as he had the slightest chance, he would attack. As long as the 13th Prince was dead, what was the point of the engagement? Zhao Feng, Junior Marshal's sister Yufei, and I came to the battlefield to discuss the engagement with the 13th Prince, Duanmu Qing said. However, the 13th Prince kept saying that he would make Yufei fall in love with him after talking to him a few times. Therefore, every discussion ended in a hurry without any results. I won't agree to cancel the engagement. At this moment, the 13th Prince slowly walked into the hall and looked at Zhao Feng with a cold gaze. He was really angry. Why did the plan that so many forces had planned and carried out failed? If Zhao Feng had been killed back then, this wouldn't have happened. This was the second time he saw the girl he was engaged to be hugged by Zhao Feng. This made the 13th Prince's jealousy and killing intent for Zhao Feng reach a peak. However, he knew that Zhao Feng was very strong now. He could only rely on the forces behind him and his mother to take care of Zhao Feng. As long as the 13th Prince didn't agree to cancel the engagement, the Duanmu family wouldn't be able to force the Sacred Emperor to cancel the engagement. Your Highness, I won't fall in love with you. Zhao Yufei's eyes looked at the 13th Prince. Her tone was firm and filled with anger. You! The 13th Prince was enraged. The woman he once loved had repeatedly wounded his heart. She had ignored his sincerity and love, and in front of so many people, she had thrown herself into the arms of another man. At this moment, the 13th Prince felt that the girl he once loved was just as despicable. All he wanted to do right now was to kill Zhao Feng and torture Zhao Yufei. Zhao Feng looked at the 13th Prince faintly, and a hidden surge of mental energy flashed by. No one present, including those in the stronghold, sensed it. Right at this moment, a terrifying and peerlessly powerful pressure descended upon this enormous palace. What's going on? Has the non-humans started to counterattack again? The 13th Prince's legs instantly became soft, and he immediately ran out. Sacred Lord Black Iron, what happened? The 13th Prince arrived next to Sacred Lord Black Iron with fear. This Sacred Lord Black Iron was a Sacred Lord of the demonic Dao in the 13th Prince's group. He was sent by 9 Darkness Palace to protect the 13th Prince and help him achieve something. Sacred Lord Black Iron was at the early stages of the Mystic Light Realm. One had to know that there were only a few late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords on the battlefield in Lan Province, and they only appeared to stall the non-humans. Even the Crown Prince only had one early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord by his side. If the force behind the 13th prince sent a late-stage mystic light realm sacred lord to help the 13th prince, he wouldn't receive a good evaluation from the Imperials even if he did well. Surges of divine sense spread out from the city, and quasi-sacred lords and sacred lords quickly appeared. Those who should come are here. Zhao Feng gave a faint smile. Zhao Feng, come out. A terrifying, thunderous roar sounded, and the entire city shook as if it was about to collapse. Whoosh! Zhao Feng appeared in the air above the hall and looked at the handsome youth with short hair. Long time no see, little Kuan Yun. Chapter 1061. Long time no see, little Kuan Yun. Zhao Feng appeared in the sky above the city and looked at the handsome, short-haired youth in front of him. After Kuan Yun broke through to the mystic light realm, he naturally got rid of the effects of the immortal springs wine and the eternal beauty grass. He no longer had the body of a child. Zhao Feng, you're courting death. Kuan Yun frowned. Zhao Feng dared to call him little Kuan Yun? He was a demigod in the past, and even now, he was at the late stages of the mystic light realm. However, Zhao Feng's cultivation level left Kuan Yun flabbergasted. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to break through to the mystic light realm so quickly after recultivating. However, the difference between the early stages of the mystic light realm and the late stages of the mystic light realm wasn't small. On the other hand, Kuan Yun was at the late stages of the mystic light realm, and he could use a wisp of divine power. There were many techniques in his inherited memories, so he could even fight against sacred kings. So, the 9th prince, Zhao Yufei, and Nan Gongsheng also appeared nearby. Nan Gongsheng? I didn't expect you to be here too. Kuan Yin was slightly surprised. Nan Gongsheng had left the true martial sacred land half a year earlier than him, but now he was actually with Zhao Feng. Kuan Yun, the 9th prince and sacred lord Black Iron exclaimed. As long as this name was mentioned, everyone would think of the demigod Kuan Yun, whose name had spread across the continent. This Kuan Yun had come to the battlefield a few months ago and had immediately joined the fray, slaughtering outsiders in exchange for battle credits. Due to his powerful battle prowess, even the foreign race's holy king made a move. The two of them exchanged blows, and Kuan Yun was forced to retreat. Demigod Kuan Yun? Duan Muqing was stunned. As he looked at the golden figure in the sky, his thoughts became unclear. How did Zhao Feng get involved with Kuan Yun? The 9th prince was bewildered. From the looks of it, Kuan Yun was here to cause trouble for Zhao Feng. He really offends people wherever he goes. I didn't expect Zhao Feng to actually offend Kuan Yun. The 13th prince's mood suddenly became better. Sacred Lord Black Iron was also overjoyed and waited to see a good show. Kuan Yun, you were resurrected because of me. How can you repay kindness with enmity? Zhao Feng's expression didn't change as he asked directly. What? The demigod Kuan Yun was resurrected by Zhao Feng? The two princes, Sacred Lord Black Iron, Duan Muqing, and the other members all took deep breaths in shock. Kuan Yun's reappearance on the continent shocked the upper echelons of many 3-star and even 4-star forces. No one would have thought that the demigod Kuan Yun would be revived by Zhao Feng. How shocking was that? You did resurrect me, but Kuan Yun frowned. As for why he hated Zhao Feng so much, it was naturally because Zhao Feng had taken advantage of his weakness to enslave him. After Zhao Feng had enslaved him, Zhao Feng had squeezed him dry to get the demigod's head, the demigod's blood, and even made him one of Zhao Feng's fighters to fight against dangerous people like the Emperor of Death. How could a demigod be willing to be bound by an ant? Furthermore, as your master, I've given you countless resources. Zhao Feng finished what Kuan Yin didn't say. The demigod Kuan Yun's hair stood on end as a terrifying sacred body pressure spread out, and heaven and earth seemed to freeze. As expected, his previous master was able to embarrass him no matter what. He even dared to talk about his past humiliation in front of so many people. The members of the two teams in the city below were all dumbstruck, and their minds were in a daze. Just thinking about it made a former demigod become a slave was unbelievable. Zhao Feng was once Kuan Yun's master. Zhao Yufei and Duan Muqing were also surprised. They didn't expect Zhao Feng to have such great fortune in the demigod Forgotten Garden. Not only did he resurrect the demigod Kuan Yun, he even enslaved him. Now, everyone knew why Kuan Yun hated Zhao Feng so much. Boom! Kuan Yun's body instantly flashed with a golden light as mysterious golden talismans floated around him and radiated a terrifying physical force. Kuan Yun, are you sure you want to kill me? Zhao Feng asked just as Kuan Yun was about to attack. Don't even think about harming Brother Feng. Zhao Yufei immediately arrived next to Zhao Feng, and her snow-white skin started to glitter with a crystalline purple light as a powerful bloodline power spread. In a split second, the origin chi in this part of the world swept up like a raging storm. The bloodline and true yuan of the experts present started to tremble. Yufei, come back! The 13th prince immediately called out. The 13th prince was extremely happy to see that Kuan Yun had a grudge with Zhao Feng. However, just as the demigod Kuan Yun was about to attack, Zhao Yufei ran over. On the other side, the 9th prince didn't know what to do either. Firstly, he couldn't help Zhao Feng at all. Secondly, even the Imperials wouldn't be able to protect him if he offended someone who could become a demigod. Sacred Lord Gong Wang also didn't move and didn't dare to attack. Demigods were the strongest experts in the continent zone. Even the Grand Imperial Hall wouldn't allow him to offend a demigod. Although Kuan Yun was only at the late stages of the Mystic Light Realm right now, he would be able to recover to his peak strength soon since he had revived half his body. This bloodline, Kuan Yun couldn't help but be stunned as he inspected Zhao Yufei. The bloodline power within Zhao Yufei's body had even affected him to a certain extent. If his guesses weren't wrong, this was definitely the bloodline of the spiritual race, ranked 19th among the 10,000 ancient races. Kuan Yun couldn't help but look at Zhao Feng with jealousy. There was actually a female with such a noble bloodline who was willing to step forward for Zhao Feng. So what if I kill you? Rage surged in Kuan Yun's heart as he charged at Zhao Feng with a physical force that seemed capable of suppressing the heavens. Hee, Kuan Yun, don't be in such a rush. There's no feud between us. What's the point of killing me? Zhao Feng laughed and immediately circulated his mystic light sacred power. One boom. In an instant, a layer of dark yellow lightning appeared around Zhao Feng's body. Physical force lightning domain. At the same time, a surge of physical force and lightning radiated from Zhao Feng's body and covered heaven and earth. Kuan Yun, who had charged into Zhao Feng's domain, was instantly suppressed and affected. Zhao Feng then circulated the mystic light sacred power of the earth of wind lightning to defend. On the other side, Zhao Yufei thrust out her palm, and purple crystalline figures radiated a terrifying disturbance of Yuan Qi as they charged toward Kuan Yun. Kuan Yun snickered coldly as the weird golden runes on his body released arcs of lightning and shattered Zhao Yufei's attack. Although the spiritual race bloodline was terrifying, Kuan Yun's intent was extremely high. Boom! Kuan Yun's powerful physical body landed on the defense formed by the earth of wind, lightning on the surface of Zhao Feng's body. When the two terrifying forces clashed together, heaven and earth shook and started to twist. What terrifying power! The members below felt their bodies and bloodlines tremble as they were suppressed. Boom! Zhao Feng was pushed back several hundred steps by Kuan Yun before he managed to stabilize himself. You cultivate the golden Kuan sacred lightning body. Kuan Yun was stunned. The demigod Kuan Yun was a body-strengthening cultivator. Now that he was recultivating, he also focused on the path of body strengthening, and his achievements far surpassed his previous self. However, at this moment, Zhao Feng was able to block his physical force with just the power of his physical body. Kuan Yun immediately thought back to the cultivation technique that Zhao Feng had merged with in the Heaven's Legacy City, the Golden Kuan Sacred Lightning Body. What Kuan Yun didn't expect was that Zhao Feng seemed to have cultivated the Golden Kun sacred lightning body to the 6th level in less than 10 years. How is that possible? Even the demigod Kun Yun's Golden Kun sacred body had only reached the 6th level. Furthermore, based on the physical force lightning domain that Zhao Feng just used, he could guess that the cultivation technique that Zhao Feng had recultivated was the 5 elemental wind lightning technique. Kun Yun, you've grown up, but you become stupid. What's the point of killing me? Don't anyone know why my Golden Kun sacred lightning body's cultivation speed is so fast? Zhao Feng revealed a cunning smile. The Golden Kun sacred lightning body was 1 level higher than the Golden Kun sacred body, and Zhao Feng's cultivation speed was almost as fast as Kun Yun's. Seeing that Kun Yun didn't attack again, Zhao Yufei also stopped. After all, even if she used her full strength, she would only be able to slightly hinder Kun Yun. Furthermore, seeing that Zhao Feng didn't seem to be worried, Zhao Yufei also relaxed. You have a higher level of that flesh. Kun Yun's heart moved. He had once followed Zhao Feng, and he had obtained a lot of powerful flesh from Zhao Feng. It even contained a wisp of the origin of heaven and earth. These pieces of flesh and blood played a crucial role in the recovery of his strength. However, the flesh of that level was useless to Kun Yun's current bloodline, unless Zhao Feng had a higher level of flesh. Kun Yun couldn't imagine how Zhao Feng had such a large amount of resources, but only Zhao Feng had it. In order to show my goodwill, I can give you some benefits first, Zhao Feng said with a faint smile as he handed over an interspatial ring. Kun Yun took Zhao Feng's interspatial ring doubtfully and scanned it with his divine sense while maintaining the Golden Kun sacred body state. This is... Demigod Kun Yun was stunned as he looked at Zhao Feng in disbelief. What's inside? I heard Senior Kun Yun say that it's some kind of flesh. More and more people in the city wanted to know what was inside the interspatial ring that could shock even a demigod. There's probably a peerless treasure inside. The 13th prince's eyes were filled with greed as he stared at the interspatial ring. It was obviously impossible to take this from demigod Kun Yun, but Zhao Feng definitely had another treasure like that. Otherwise, why would Zhao Feng give away a treasure that could shock even a demigod? Sacred Lord Black Iron, I believe that 9 Darkness Palace will be very interested in what's inside the interspatial ring, right? The 13th prince started to talk to Sacred Lord Black Iron. Zhao Feng smiled confidently. He had stored the flesh of an earth-shattering raging bull in the interspatial ring. The bloodline of the earth-shattering raging bull was even stronger than the golden-winged scarlet tigers, and the overall strength of the earth-shattering raging bull was extremely high. The flesh of the earth-shattering raging bull contained the power of earth, which was why Zhao Feng was extremely fierce when he attacked the earth-shattering raging bull race. He believed that demigod Kun Yun wouldn't reject such resources. Even if demigod Kun Yun thought that it wasn't enough, he could take out other ancient resources. As long as there was something to talk about, Zhao Feng didn't want to face 9 Darkness Palace and Kun Yun. However, demigod Kun Yun's shocked expression surprised Zhao Feng. Could it be that the flesh of the earth-shattering raging bull had other uses that he didn't know about? This is an ancient race with such a thick bloodline. Its powerful bloodline is extremely beneficial for recovering my bloodline power. Most importantly, there's a wisp of ancient origin aura within the earth-shattering raging bull's body. Kun Yun's expression was extremely grim. He had awakened the memories of his previous life, so he obviously knew what the key to becoming a god was. After reviving from a drop of blood, he was still thinking about how to obtain the aura of ancient origin. He didn't expect that the flesh of the earth-shattering raging bull that Zhao Feng had given him contained a wisp of ancient origin aura. Zhao Feng, since you're so sincere, then we can talk about it. Demigod Kun Yun concealed his aura and had a gentle expression. Indeed, he didn't have any deep grudges with Zhao Feng, and Zhao Feng seemed to be able to help him break through to the divine realm. Chapter 1062. Zhao Feng, since you're so sincere, then everything is negotiable. Demigod Kuan Yin concealed his aura and had a gentle expression. Indeed, he didn't have any deep grudges with Zhao Feng, and Zhao Feng seemed to be able to help him break through to the divine realm. Why would Kuan Yin be so stubborn and insist on killing Zhao Feng? Surpassing his previous self and becoming a god was Kuan Yin's biggest wish. The heavenly divine realm was a realm that all the peak experts in the continent zone wanted to reach. They could do anything for it. Countless mystic light realm experts had been stopped by the heavenly divine realm since ancient times, and they weren't even able to touch the door to the heavenly divine realm. Many demigods have been stuck there for tens of thousands of years, unable to break through. Apparently, the last god in the continent zone was 100,000 years ago. Once one broke through to the heavenly divine realm, their lifespan would increase by several dozen times. Most importantly, they would be able to enter the center of the fan universe, the ancient desolate realm of gods. Rumors said that one could see everything in legends there. The giant god race that was tens of thousands of yards tall, the ancient golden crows that provided light and heat to the entire fan universe, the Heaven's Legacy race, the ancient shaman race, and other forbidden races that had gone extinct long ago. There were also the unique 8 great god eyes, who, in the city below, countless experts felt their minds rumble. The mighty demigod Kuan Yin instantly became extremely friendly when facing his mortal enemy, Zhao Feng. What was inside that interspatial ring that could attract a former demigod? Even the 9th prince, Nan Gongsheng, Sacred Lord Gongwang, and company were extremely curious and wanted to ask Zhao Feng about it. How can this be? The 13th prince was stunned. Kuan Yin gave in just like that? Even if the items inside the interspatial ring were extremely tempting, Kuan Yin could have taken them for himself and killed Zhao Feng to obtain everything on Zhao Feng. Why didn't Kuan Yin do that? What exactly was stored in that storage ring? The 13th prince's heart dropped when he saw that Zhao Feng and Kuan Yin seemed to be teaming up. Yufei, we should leave this place. The 13th prince immediately said, I want to stay here. Zhao Yufei didn't even look at the 13th prince as she spoke. Ew. The 13th prince was enraged. He wanted to say something, but he stopped himself. Now, Zhao Yufei and Duan Muqing were clearly on the 9th prince's side. Furthermore, Kuan Yin seemed to be on good terms with Zhao Feng. If he were to lose his temper here, wouldn't he be asking for trouble? Let's go. The 13th prince glared at Zhao Feng before leaving with his team. Then, Kuan Yin descended and entered the city. Many people were shocked to see Zhao Feng and Kuan Yin enter a pavilion. The demonic beast you gave me just now was the earth-shattering raging bull of the ancient race. Kuan Yin asked in confusion. The earth-shattering raging bull in the storage ring contained an extremely dense ancient aura and blood essence. The density of its bloodline was unimaginably high, just like the earth-shattering raging bull of the ancient era. But how is this possible? Even the ancient dimensions of the continent zone couldn't have ancient beasts from the ancient era, unless it was the ancient desolate realm of gods. Zhao Feng didn't say anything. He just looked at Kuan Yin quietly. How much of this beast's flesh do you have? Kuan Yin knew that Zhao Feng wouldn't say anything when he saw Zhao Feng's expression. Kuan Yin didn't really care about that question, so he asked the next one. This kind of flesh is extremely rare. I believe you can see it as well. Zhao Feng started to keep Kuan Yin in suspense. Zhao Feng originally thought that he would need to take out a lot of resources to make peace with Kuan Yin, but he seemed to have underestimated the value of the earth-shattering raging bull's flesh. However, he seemed to have underestimated the value of the earth-shattering raging bull's flesh. Since that was the case, he would have to plan carefully. Tell me, what do you want? Kuan Yin's expression became grim. He knew that Zhao Feng was saying this on purpose. However, he could guess the strength of the earth-shattering raging bull from looking at its flesh. It wouldn't be easy to deal with. 9 Darkness Palace. Zhao Feng said straightforwardly. That's impossible. Even if I was at my peak, I wouldn't be able to fight against 9 Darkness Palace. Kuan Yin immediately rejected. He had heard about the conflict between Zhao Feng and 9 Darkness Palace. According to what he knew, Nine Darkness Palace was once a 4-star sect. Although it had fallen to 3 stars, there was indeed a demigod in the sect. Kuan finally had the chance to be reborn. If he went against Nine Darkness Palace now, he would be pushing himself into a pit of fire. Kuan was also impressed. Zhao Feng really knew how to cause trouble. It wasn't bad that he had offended the Emperor of Death, but now he had offended Nine Darkness Palace, which had a demigod. I'm not asking you to level 9 Darkness Palace. You just need to help me at the crucial moment. I'll give you resources according to your contribution. Zhao Feng said his idea. This way, you wouldn't have to worry about Kuan scheming. Kuan would definitely help Zhao Feng to obtain more flesh of the earth-shattering Raging Bull. The two of them had worked together before, so they had a certain understanding of each other. It's a deal. Kuan agreed after thinking for a moment. It wasn't a problem for him to help Zhao Feng obtain resources without angering the demigods of Nine Darkness Palace. Once the demigods of Nine Darkness Palace took action, Kuan wouldn't help Zhao Feng. Take this. Pour your mystic light, sacred power into it when you meet trouble. Kuan threw an ancient square token to Zhao Feng. After all, Kuan couldn't follow Zhao Feng all the time and be his bodyguard. Kuan really hoped that Zhao Feng would meet trouble wherever he went. Kuan then left in a hurry. This flesh of flesh and bloodline power can awaken the bloodline within my body. There's also the ancient aura. After Kuan left, Zhao Yufei, Nin Gongsheng, Duan Muqing, and company all came to find Zhao Feng and ask him about some things. Everyone wanted to know what Zhao Feng had given Kuan. Zhao Feng only said that it was resources similar to the Blood Essence Pill and Purifying Blood Sacred Spirit Pill. Of course, Zhao Feng didn't know how many of these pills could be refined from one earth-shattering Raging Bull. Zhao Feng then entered seclusion and didn't see anyone else. Brother Feng, you can do it, Zhao Yufei said before leaving. She also knew what kind of enemies Zhao Feng was facing right now. Furthermore, Zhao Yufei was the same. If she was strong enough, nothing could restrict her, not even the Imperials. Therefore, she needed to cultivate and increase her strength. In the secret hall, Zhao Feng scanned the area with his left eye. Finding nothing strange, he closed his eyes. Who? Zhao Feng soon sensed the 13th prince's location. Before Kuan arrived, Zhao Feng had already placed a mark of the god Eye on the 13th prince. The 13th prince had a gloomy expression as he returned to his stronghold with his team on a chain of mountains. Now that Yufei isn't here, I need to report to the Lan Province War Hall and ask them to send more sacred lords. The 13th prince said angrily. Sacred Lord Black Iron, Nine Darkness Palace shouldn't be scared of Kuan, who's only at the late stages of the Mystic Light Realm, right? The 13th prince messaged. I need to report this to the upper echelons first. Sacred Lord Black Iron wasn't provoked by the 13th prince. After all, Kuan was once a demigod. Although he was only at the late stages of the Mystic Light Realm, his true strength was immeasurable. Kuan seemed to have been tempted by Zhao Feng's eyes, and the two of them were working together. Nine Darkness Palace definitely wouldn't ignore something that could tempt Kuan. Who is it? Sacred Lord Black Iron felt a faint mental energy disturbance and immediately raised his head. Sacred Lord Black Iron's footsteps instantly froze, and his expression became solemn. A faint golden eye of heaven had appeared in the sky above the 13th prince's group. Wind and lightning surrounded it, and it was cold and emotionless. It seemed to be on par with heaven and earth as it looked down. The expressions of the members of the 13th prince's group changed dramatically. They stared at the sky in shock and silence. That eye, that's Zhao Feng's golden eye. The 13th prince immediately exclaimed. Zhao Feng, what do you want to do? The 13th prince puffed out his chest and roared. The 13th prince thought that Zhao Feng had been following them in secret and might be hiding somewhere, using this unknown eye bloodline technique to scare them. Forbidden Illusion Lost World. A mysterious and cold voice sounded in the mental energy dimension. Wang Wush. The enormous golden, eye turned into a limitless purple and gold maze world that radiated a fatal attraction. 13th Prince, watch out. Sacred Lord Black Iron immediately warned. The 13th Prince's heart was filled with fear. He didn't expect Zhao Feng to be so bold as to attack him. A golden jade pendant with a dragon immediately appeared in the 13th Prince's hand. However, before he could activate the power of this jade pendant, his eyes were attracted by the golden eye of heaven in the sky, and his soul was imprisoned in another dimension, completely separated from his body. Using the eye of heaven could increase the power of eye bloodline techniques. With Zhao Feng's current strength, it was extremely easy for him to use the forbidden illusion lost world to control the 13th Prince. Of course, Zhao Feng's forbidden illusion lost world was a group eye bloodline technique. Everyone here would be affected by this technique, and the 13th Prince was Zhao Feng's main target. Zhao Feng, you're dead for hurting a prince of the Imperials. Being a member of Nine Darkness Palace, Sacred Lord Black Iron was worried that he wouldn't be able to cause trouble for Zhao Feng. Now that Zhao Feng had attacked a prince of the Imperials definitely wouldn't let Zhao Feng go. The Grand Imperial Hall wouldn't stop Nine Darkness Palace, and they might even personally punish Zhao Feng. Sacred Lord Black Iron did his best to resist Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique. At the same time, a message talisman appeared in his hand. Zhao Feng used his eye bloodline techniques against 30 to 40 experts at the same time, so Sacred Lord Black Iron still had some ability to fight back. However, in the next instant, a cold light pierced through his chest. How is this possible? The sacred power whirlpool within Sacred Lord Black Iron's body was severely injured, and his entire body ached. He couldn't circulate his mystic light sacred power, let alone use a message talisman. Meow meow. The little thieving cat's figure appeared in the air before disappearing in a flash. When lightning, I flame. The faint golden eye of heaven in the sky aimed at Sacred Lord Black Iron and unleashed a powerful eye bloodline technique. Boom! In an instant, Sacred Lord Black Iron's entire body started to burn with a purple soul eye bloodline flame. The symbols of God, tribulation, lightning within it rampaged and killed everything in its path. Whoosh! Right at this moment, the little thieving cat left countless fatal wounds on Sacred Lord Black Iron's vitals. In the end, Sacred Lord Black Iron was completely killed by the combined efforts of Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat. The other members of the group were still under the control of Zhao Feng's forbidden illusion lost world. They all stood there with dazed eyes. Chapter 1063. Little thieving cat, I'll leave the rest to you. Zhao Feng's voice sounded in the little thieving cat's soul dimension. Meow meow. The little thieving cat waved the shadow kill imperial dagger in its hand, and it turned into a streak of dark silver light that flashed by. Whoosh! A chilling shadow blade quickly shuttled between the members of the squad. Anyone that hadn't reached the Sacred Lord level was killed by the little thieving cat in one blow. Bam! A weird dagger that was as cold as a shadow pierced through the 13th Prince's heart. The 13th Prince died peacefully just like that. Destroy the corpse and destroy the evidence. Zhao Feng's voice sounded once more, and the golden eye in the sky started to disappear. After taking care of everything, the little thieving cat turned invisible and disappeared. Within the secret hall, Zhao Feng opened his eyes. He's finally dead. Zhao Feng let out a long breath. If Sacred Lord Black Iron, the 13th Prince, and company knew that Zhao Feng was still in the stronghold, who knew how shocked they would be. However, they would never know that. I shouldn't have been discovered. Zhao Feng used the Eye of Heaven to see everything. There were no other groups within several dozen thousand miles, and no one from the 13th Prince's group had sent out any information. However, there was always someone stronger in the world. Maybe a god expert would be able to find some clues, or maybe a fortune teller like the 6 Warlock Divine Sage would be able to guess something. However, no one would know that Zhao Feng had killed the 13th Prince in a short amount of time. Therefore, Zhao Feng needed to use this chance to increase his strength. On top of that, although Kuan Yin agreed to help Zhao Feng, it was because he wasn't confident that he could kill Zhao Feng. If Zhao Feng kept giving resources to Kuan Yin and his own strength didn't increase, he believed that Kuan Yin would still attack Zhao Feng once he recovered to his peak. Therefore, in order to protect himself and survive, Zhao Feng needed to cultivate even harder and increase his strength. Whoosh! Zhao Feng went directly to the misty spatial world, and some precious resources from the ancient era appeared in Zhao Feng's hands. Among them, there were many earth-attributed ores and medicinal herbs. They were the spoils of war from attacking the earth-shattering Raging Bull tribe. The herbs and ores in the ancient dream realm had a great effect on Zhao Feng's cultivation of the earth of wind lightning. With the amount of resources Zhao Feng had used recently, he could have cultivated the earth of wind lightning to the small success stage long ago. However, Zhao Feng continued to suppress it and strengthen the mystic light sacred power that the earth of wind lightning created. Although he wanted to increase his strength, he couldn't be too impatient. The little thieving cat soon returned and jumped into the misty spatial world. Meow, meow. The little thieving cat reported the situation of the mission to Zhao Feng and asked for the reward. Your strength seems to have improved quite a bit, Zhao Feng said. Recently, the little thieving cat had consumed a lot of resources. At the same time, Zhao Feng was able to see its transformation. The little thieving cat didn't have any bottlenecks, and its strength slowly increased as it continued to devour resources. Because they had just taken over an enemy stronghold, they wouldn't do anything for now. Therefore, Zhao Feng and the little thieving cat stayed in the misty spatial world and used the extinct resources to cultivate and increase their strength. The duplication ability of the mysterious golden ball allowed Zhao Feng to continuously obtain resources, but the effect of the same resources would decrease if they were used too much. The news of the 13th prince's death spread 10 days later. A late-stage sacred lord and several imperials personally went to the front lines of the Lan province war hall to investigate. According to the members of the 13th prince's battle zone, the 13th prince never returned after going to the 9th prince's battle zone. Furthermore, the 13th prince's group was with the 9th prince's group before they were killed. Therefore, the 9th prince's group became the focus of the investigation. However, there was an upper echelon member of the Grand Imperial Hall, Sacred Lord Gong Wang, in the 9th prince's group. Therefore, the 9th prince's group couldn't have been killed by the 13th prince's group. On top of that, the enmity between Zhao Feng and the 13th prince was obvious. If Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng teamed up, they could have easily annihilated the 13th prince's group. Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Feng didn't leave that day. Sacred Lord Gong Wang said. He wasn't protecting Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng. He was just telling the truth. However, Senior Kuan Yin did come here that day. A peak emperor in the group said in a low tone. Kuan Yin. The people from the Lan province war hall murmured. If it was the demigod Kuan Yin in the past, he did have the ability to instantly kill normal experts and early-stage mystic light realm experts. However, why did the demigod Kuan Yin kill the 13th prince's group? Just like that, the late-stage sacred lords and imperials of the Lan province war hall left the 9th prince's city in confusion and continued to investigate. At the same time, they couldn't eliminate the possibility that the 13th prince's group was killed by a non-human. Zhao Feng returned to his own hall after the people from the Lan province war hall left and continued to cultivate in seclusion. It was a good thing that these people didn't find out that it was him. As for Kuan Yin, Zhao Feng was too lazy to care about him. He believed that nothing bad would happen to him. I didn't think that 13th brother would be killed. The 9th prince was surprised. This was good news for him. At the same time, he wanted to know who knew where the 13th prince was and why the 13th prince's group was destroyed without him even sending out a message. The news of the 13th prince's group being annihilated on the battlefield instantly spread, causing waves in the lord dynasties of the continent. One had to know that the members of the 13th prince's group were all upper echelon members or geniuses, and Sacred Lord Blackiron was an elder of Nine Darkness Palace. The force behind the 13th prince was the strongest amongst the princes. The Sacred Emperor and Sacred Empress were enraged when they heard this news and sent out many Imperials to the front lines to investigate this matter. Therefore, powerful battle power kept appearing on the battlefield. On the other hand, the non-humans realized that the human side had suddenly increased their forces, so they gathered more experts and sent them into the battlefield. The battle became even more intense. The upper echelon of the Lan province war hall also found Kuan Yin, but they didn't find anything. On the other hand, Kuan Yin's strength had increased due to the flesh of the earth-shattering raging bull that Zhao Feng had given him. He entered the war zone and killed a large number of non-humans, making the non-humans extremely angry. Finally, the battle power of Sacred King appeared on the battlefield once more. At the Ninth Prince's stronghold, by now, almost all of the human squads in the rear had gathered here. Continue to push forward, the Ninth Prince ordered. Everyone then started to enter the war zone. Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei formed a group without anyone else. Duan Muqing joined the Ninth Prince's group to protect the Ninth Prince, and Nan Gongsheng moved by himself. The non-humans at the front were already prepared and sent a late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord. This late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord just happened to meet Nan Gongsheng, and the two fought. The late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lord was forced to run away. Thus, everyone pushed forward in a straight line. It could be said that they were invincible. After a few months, they occupied another stronghold. After taking over 2 strongholds, Zhao Feng and Nan Gongsheng's war points instantly rose. Nan Gongsheng's war points jumped into the top 1,000 of the Lan Province War Board rankings, and Zhao Feng was once again ranked 3rd. Within the Misty spatial world, Zhao Feng circulated the 10,000 Divine Thoughts technique and multitasked. After several months of training and using large amounts of ancient resources, his Earth of Wind Lightning had reached the early stages of the 9th level of the 5 Elemental Wind Lightning technique. The 6th level of the Sacred Lightning Body had also improved a lot, and he was only 1 step away from the early stages. However, Zhao Feng had been suppressing him. In terms of soul intent, his improvement was slower. After all, there were very few resources related to the soul in the ancient dream realm. Zhao Feng had been using the mysterious golden ball to duplicate the spirit-gathering soul refining grass. But no matter how precious it was, its effect would be greatly reduced if it was repeatedly used. If my soul intent reaches the late stages of the Mystic Light Realm, I might be able to try duplicating the substandard God-slaying arrow. Zhao Feng guessed. Of course, Zhao Feng wasn't sure. Even if he could duplicate it, the energy would make Zhao Feng extremely weak. All in all, Zhao Feng had a short-term goal, which was to increase his strength until he could duplicate the substandard God-slaying arrow. The substandard God-slaying arrow could critically injure late-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords, and it could threaten Sacred Kings as well. Right now, Zhao Feng only had 1 substandard God-slaying arrow left, and he couldn't use it anymore. If he used this substandard God-slaying arrow, how was Zhao Feng going to duplicate it in the future? Zhao Feng was suddenly disturbed by the outside world and left the misty spatial world. A terrifying surge of laws and intents instantly descended around him. This power, could it be a Sacred King? Zhao Feng's heart jumped, and he immediately charged out. A non-human Sacred King from the Merfolk race was fighting against Nan Gongsheng, Zhao Yufei, and Sacred Lord Gong Wang in the sky. This was the stronghold that the 9th Prince had just taken over. The other groups were also gathering here. Apart from the Sacred Lords from the 9th Prince's group, there were 3 other Sacred Lords present as well. However, normal Sacred Lords weren't able to participate in battles with Sacred Kings. I didn't expect a non-human Sacred King to be attracted here so quickly. Zhao Feng felt his heart become heavy. This Sacred King was Sacred King Roaring Sky from the non-human war hall. Perhaps it was because Sacred Lord Myriad Forms and Sacred Lord Sky Trampler had been defeated, and another non-human Sacred Lord had been defeated by Nan Gongsheng. So the non-humans started to pay attention to the 9th Prince's battlefield. Boom! Sacred Lord Gong Wang, Nangongsheng, and Zhao Yufei were defeated by a terrifying attack of laws. Retreat! Retreat! Sacred Lord Gongwang immediately said. The difference between a sacred lord and a sacred king was huge. It was different from the difference between an early-stage mystic light realm and a late-stage sacred lord. Nangongsheng could defeat late-stage sacred lords by himself, but the three of them together weren't Sacred King Roaring Sky's match. Everyone retreat. The ninth prince immediately ordered. Sacred King Roaring Sky could kill anyone below the Sacred Lord level with just a thought. There was no point in staying here. They would just be going to their deaths. Who? Zhao Feng circulated his sacred lightning body and used the lightning wings flying technique to fly away. You guys retreat first. We'll stall him for now. Zhao Feng straightforwardly said. Sacred Lord Gongwang and Zhao Yufei immediately nodded their heads. They obviously couldn't compare to Sacred King Roaring Sky in terms of speed. If they all retreated, they would face the pursuit of a Sacred King. Therefore, someone needed to stay behind and stall Sacred King Roaring Sky. It's all your fault for being too arrogant. That's why the higher-ups sent me here to clear out all the Sacred Lords in this war zone. Sacred King Roaring Sky couldn't help but snicker. In reality, the humanoid war hall treated the Ninth Prince's war zone the same as Kuan Yun's. This wasn't just because a large number of powerful Sacred Lords had appeared in the Ninth Prince's war zone. The main reason was that these human Sacred Lords had the bloodline of the spiritual race and inheritors of the power of the evil god. Killing Zhao Yufei and Nangongsheng was a secret mission that the higher-ups had given Sacred King Roaring Sky. Chapter 1064. It's all your fault for being too arrogant. That's why the higher-ups sent me here to clear out all the Sacred Lords here. Sacred King Roaring Sky couldn't help but snicker as he looked at the two early-stage Mystic Light Realm Sacred Lords and the two initial-stage Sacred Lords. Even though Nangongsheng and Zhao Yufei were among these four Sacred Lords, their cultivation was too low and they couldn't use their terrifying power, so they weren't Sacred King Roaring Sky's match. This time, the owner of the spiritual race bloodline and the inheritor of the power of the evil god would all die in his hands. The expressions of Zhao Feng, Nangongsheng, and company became grim. This was the first time everyone had fought against a sacred king, and an invisible pressure started to increase and cover their bodies. Sacred Lord Gongwang looked at Zhao Feng, Nangongsheng, and Zhao Yufei. If it weren't for the three of them, Sacred Lord Gongwang wouldn't have stayed behind to do such a dangerous thing. The four of us will stay together and stall him while we escape. Zhao Feng messaged the other three. The four of them didn't stay behind to fight Sacred King Roaring Sky to the death. They just needed to stall him. Furthermore, the Ninth Prince had already sent a message for help when Sacred King Roaring Sky arrived. Let's go, Zhao Feng roared, and the four of them retreated at the same time. All of you will stay here today. Sacred King Roaring Sky had an arrogant expression as limitless faint blue mystic light, sacred power, radiated from his body, and a surge of intent swept toward them. Whoosh! Sacred King Roaring Sky casually waved his fish scale-covered arm, and a faint blue mystic light, sacred power, surged forward with a terrifying wave. Boom! Who? Nangongsheng and Zhao Yufei instantly stepped forward and released a powerful aura. One was wicked and forceful, while the other was noble and noble. The two powerful auras of intent blocked Sacred King Roaring Sky's magnificent power. At the same time, Zhao Feng circulated his mystic light, sacred power, and thrust out a giant scarlet golden palm of lightning. Sacred Lord Gongwang also slashed out with his halberd. Their attacks clashed against Sacred King Roaring Sky's sacred power. Boom! Sacred Lord Gongwang's attack was instantly shattered by absolute power and loss. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's sky-destroying sacred lightning palm was extremely powerful and managed to weaken Sacred King Roaring Sky's attack. The four of them worked together and blocked Sacred King Roaring Sky's attack. This human. Sacred King Roaring Sky's eyes focused on Zhao Feng. The instant they clashed, he realized that Zhao Feng wasn't simple. His strength wasn't any weaker than Zhao Yufei, Nan Gongsheng, and company. That's great. Today, I'll kill all the prodigies of the Qin dynasty. Sacred King Roaring Sky was excited and started to treat the four seriously. Go! Zhao Feng, Zhao Yufei, and the others retreated after blocking the attack. Roaring waves. Sacred King Roaring Sky spread his arms, and a layer of faint blue mystic light, sacred power, appeared. At this instant, the entire sky seemed to turn into a faint blue wave that radiated a terrifying pressure. Sacred King Roaring Sky waved his hands, and the terrifying sacred power attack behind them instantly turned into a tsunami that crushed toward them. So strong, Sacred Lord Gonghuang swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Facing such a chaotic attack, everyone felt how minuscule they were, as if they could be destroyed at any moment. Use the projection of your little world to block it, Zhao Feng immediately said. Zhao Feng knew everyone present and knew how to use their strengths to resolve the danger in front of them. First, a storm of lightning energy erupted from Zhao Feng's back, transforming into a dark and berserk ball of intent energy that charged forward. Nan Gongsheng had a grim expression as a wicked purple and blood-colored divine light appeared behind him. Zhao Yufei pushed out with her jade-like hand, and a flaming purple meteor summoned the heaven-earth Yuan Qi in front of her to block it. Sacred Lord Gonghuang also unleashed the power of his little world projection with crisscrossing golden light. At this instant, the power of four powerful little worlds combined together and blocked Sacred King Roaring Sky's attack. Boom! Pong! Boom! Sacred King Roaring Sky's attack clashed with the four little world projections, and limitless power of laws and intents clashed. After releasing the power of the projection of the small world, everyone retreated once more. If I was just a bit stronger, I would be able to use the misty spatial world to leave with the other three. Zhao Feng felt slightly regretful. Even with Zhao Feng's current cultivation, it was extremely difficult for him to teleport with three sacred lords at the same time unless the destination was very close. However, Zhao Feng didn't leave a spatial mark very close to the destination. These little fellows. Sacred King Roaring Sky was slightly surprised. Sacred King Roaring Sky wouldn't be scared if the four of them released their little world projections to fight against him. But these four only released their little world projections to block his attack before quickly running away. Boom! Boom! Sacred King Roaring Sky stepped on a wave and chased after them. I'll kill one first. Killing intent appeared in Sacred King Roaring Sky's eyes. As long as he killed one of them first and weakened their overall strength, it wouldn't be a problem for him to kill the four human sacred lords one by one. Wong, a dark green halberd suddenly appeared in Sacred King Roaring Sky's hand. It flashed with a faint blue light, as if it could control all the power of water. Sacred King Roaring Sky gripped the halberd and slashed out. Whoosh! A beam of green light shot out and merged the power of heaven and earth into it as it shot towards Sacred Lord Gonghuang. Sacred King Roaring Sky could obviously tell that Sacred Lord Gonghuang was the weakest of the four. Nan Gongsheng, Zhao Feng immediately called out. Although Sacred Lord Gonghuang wasn't very strong, he was still useful. Zhao Feng couldn't let him die just like that. Nan Gongsheng charged toward Sacred Lord Gonghuang, and a bronze shield with beast carvings appeared in his hand. This shield was a substandard god weapon that Nan Gongsheng had obtained in the ancient mysterious palace, the Golden Pond Shield. Wong boom! Primal roars and roars sounded from the ancient green bronze shield as the image of a giant beast head formed and enveloped Nan Gongsheng and Sacred Lord Gonghuang. Boom! Sacred King Roaring Sky's attack landed on the image of the beast and quickly passed through it. However, the remaining power of the beam of green light wasn't enough to pierce through the bronze shield. Finally, Sacred King Roaring Sky's attack was blocked by Nan Gongsheng's substandard god weapon. That's a substandard god weapon. Sacred King Roaring Sky's eyes shook as greed appeared in his eyes. He didn't even have a substandard god weapon. Run! Zhao Feng suddenly roared. At the same time, a green light appeared in his hand. This was the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly that had broken through to the mystic light realm. The cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly had broken through not long after Zhao Feng broke through to the mystic light realm, but he hadn't used it yet. At this moment, the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly was even more translucent, and its entire body flashed with a faint green light. The instant it appeared, its terrifying bloodline aura instantly attracted everyone's attention. The cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly opened its mouth and spat out 5-colored silk that instantly shot through the air and locked down everything within 100 yards. After spitting out the silk, the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly flapped its wings and released dream pollen that passed through space and landed on Sacred King Roaring Sky. Perhaps the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly wasn't able to stop Sacred King Roaring Sky, but the dream pollen would definitely have a certain effect on him. Wind, lightning, eye flame. Zhao Feng's left eye focused on Sacred King Roaring Sky as he gathered his soul power and released his strongest wind, lightning, eye flame. Zhao Feng could only see Sacred King Roaring Sky's body freeze for a moment as a ball of purple eye fire suddenly erupted from his head. What powerful soul intent! Zhao Feng could feel that Sacred King Roaring Sky's soul was extremely condensed, and it was as tough as steel. Even though Zhao Feng released a large amount of God Tribulation lightning, he was still unable to harm Sacred King Roaring Sky. Boom! After releasing this move, Zhao Feng flapped his wings of wind and lightning and instantly caught up to Nan Gongsheng, Zhao Yufei, and Sacred Lord Gongwan. Zhao Feng's speed was the fastest of the three, and if he used the lightning winged spatial flash, he would be able to slightly surpass late-stage mystic light realm Sacred Lords. At this moment, Zhao Feng released a large amount of wind, lightning, mystic light, sacred power, and sped away with the other three. Damn it, these bastards! Sacred King Roaring Sky was enraged. The 4 human Sacred Lords had many defensive and disruptive methods, including the cloud silkworm Saint Butterfly and a defensive substandard god weapon. Shocking wave explosion. Sacred King Roaring Sky's eyes focused as he looked at the people running away several dozen thousand miles away and threw out the dark green halberd in his hand. Rumble. Boom. This dark green halberd contained the intent of water, and heaven and earth turned into an ocean wherever it passed. At this instant, it was as if all the power of heaven and earth crushed toward them. Heaven and earth turned blue, and they seemed to be in the middle of a limitless whirlpool. Not good. Sacred King Roaring Sky is too strong. Sacred Lord Gong Huang shook his head and sighed. Brother Feng, Zhao Yufei couldn't fight back at all, so she reached out and grabbed Zhao Feng, who, at this moment, Nan Gongsheng stepped forward. He could only rely on his defensive substandard god weapon against Sacred King Roaring Sky's ultimate move. There's no need, Nan Gongsheng, Zhao Feng said with an emotionless expression. Nan Gongsheng paused. Did Zhao Feng have a plan? However, suddenly, a terrifying surge of draconic providence descended, and a golden sword with dragon carvings slashed out from behind them and clashed with Sacred King Roaring Sky's dark green halberd. Boom! Pung! Pung! The clash of terrifying laws caused heaven and earth to shake, and a deep explosion sounded in every direction. All of you retreat. An imposing figure with a golden dragon had appeared in the sky above them at some point. Thank you, Senior Yulong. Sacred Lord Gongwang revealed a respectful expression and bowed deeply toward the golden figure. Zhao Feng and company then retreated. Seeing that his attack was blocked, Sacred King Roaring Sky looked at Sacred King Yulong with grim eyes. The upper echelon of the Grand Imperial Hall has come to the battlefield? Sacred King Roaring Sky asked. Isn't the Dark Capital cult on their way to the battlefield as well? Sacred King Yulong smiled. Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and company retreated several miles, and their hearts jumped. Zhao Feng was also curious as to why this sacred king from the Grand Imperial Hall had come to help so quickly. He didn't expect the peak forces of the two Lord dynasties, the Grand Imperial Hall and the Dark Capital Cult, to have already moved out. Originally, the war wouldn't have reached such a level in such a short amount of time. However, demigod Kuan Yun's arrival and the performance of Zhao Yufei, Nin Gongsheng, Zhao Feng, and company had attracted the attention of the non-humans. Furthermore, Yu Qianhao, Xin Yuan I, Tai Lingyun, and company on the battlefield of Ling Province and Shuang Province had increased their strength rapidly, and they were also on the war board rankings. Lastly, the 13th prince's death made the Imperials send a large number of members to the front lines. These reasons were invisibly pushing the situation of the war forward. Finally, the strongest four-star forces of the two Lord dynasties started to head to the battlefield. Chapter 1065. The participation of two four-star powers meant that the most crucial moment of the war had arrived. At this moment, Zhao Feng, Nan Gongsheng, and company felt how minuscule they were in the war between the two Lord dynasties. I'll let you go today. Sacred King Roaring Sky looked at Zhao Feng, Zhao Yufei, and company and left unwillingly. He had to admit that although the cultivations of these four sacred lords were low, their strength far surpassed normal sacred lords. Sacred King Roaring Sky had no chance of winning against Sacred King Yulong. Furthermore, he needed to go back and report some things to his superiors. It won't be long before the entire continent will belong to the humanoid race. Sacred King Roaring Sky's tone was firm as he stepped on a stream of water and instantly left. Sacred Lord Gongwang, be careful in the future. Sacred King Yulong didn't stop Sacred King Roaring Sky from leaving. Instead, he told Sacred Lord Gongwang, "Understood, Senior Yulong." Sacred Lord Gongwang said respectfully. Sacred King Yulong's gaze then landed on Nin Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei. One of them had the power of the evil god, but he still retained his rationality and humanity. The other had a terrifying bloodline that was ranked 19th among the 10,000 ancient races. If these two were able to mature, the non-humans wouldn't be so arrogant anymore. Sacred King Yulong gave a deep look at Zhao Feng. The perfect blood devil son bloodline of the Tai family, the grand elder of the Hall of Gods of a 3-star superpower, the one who managed to survive after fighting against 9 Darkness Palace, 4 Sacred Lord Myriad Forms back, and severely injured Sacred Lord Demonic Abyss after breaking through to the Mystic Light Realm. With all these achievements, Zhao Feng's influence surpassed even Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei. Sage Monarch Yulong turned into a golden dragon and disappeared without a trace. "Let's go and meet up with the 9th prince," Zhao Feng said after Sacred King Yulong left. Therefore, the 4 immediately headed to a stronghold in the back. Almost all the experts in the war zone were gathered at this stronghold. After all, they couldn't just roam around when a non-human sacred king had taken action. It's Sacred Lord Gongwang. There's also Zhao Feng, Nin Gongsheng, and Zhao Yufei. They're back. In the city, all the experts were excited and joyful. After all, it was these four that held Sacred King Roaring Sky back, which was why they were able to escape. In the secret hall, several famous experts in the war zone gathered together. I didn't expect the Supreme Imperial Hall and Dark Capital Cult to have already rushed to the battlefield, the 9th prince exclaimed. These two 4-star forces could be said to be the actual controllers of the two dynasties. In this way, the other forces in the dynasty will basically gather on the battlefield. An old man's eyes twinkled. The war seemed to have reached a critical moment. Once the Grand Imperial Hall was defeated, the entire dynasty would fall. Therefore, all the forces in the dynasty would participate in the battlefield in order to obtain the final victory. I've also received some news that the subordinate forces of the Supreme Imperial Hall have already set off for the battlefield 3 months ago. In the hall, some of the members were discussing the development and situation of the war. However, from Zhao Feng's point of view, what truly affected the outcome of the war was the battle prowess of an immortal. On the other hand, he was only at the initial stages of the Mystic Light Realm, so he wouldn't be of much use in the battle between the Lord dynasties. Using this chance to increase my strength is the most important, Zhao Feng thought in his heart. No matter who won in the end, there was nothing to worry about as long as they had absolute strength. After the meeting ended, Zhao Feng prepared to return and increase his strength. Nin Gongsheng, it's best if you don't show yourself for now, Zhao Feng said on the way. Now that the war between the two Lord dynasties had reached the final stage, the true deciding factor was the battle prowess of an immortal. Therefore, the demigods of Nine Darkness Palace would definitely come to the battlefield. The demigods of Nine Darkness Palace might not attack the Hall of Gods, but that was not the case for Nan Gongsheng. Furthermore, Zhao Feng didn't plan on going to the battlefield often, or else he, Nan Gongsheng, Zhao Yufei, and company would still attract the battle power of a non-human sacred king. With their current strength, they still couldn't fight back against the sacred king. One mistake, and they might die. On the other hand, with the expansion of the ancient dream realm and the duplication ability of his left eye, Zhao Feng didn't need to worry about resources. I know. Nan Gongsheng returned to his place with a cold expression. Yufei, it's best if you return to the Duanmu family, Zhao Feng suggested. Zhao Feng didn't plan on going to the battlefield often, and now that the 13th prince was dead, Zhao Yufei didn't need to worry about the marriage anymore. I want to stay by Brother Feng's side. Zhao Yufei had a determined gaze. She didn't know how many years it would be before she could see Zhao Feng again. I'll stay here as well, Duan Muqing said with a faint smile. Although Duan Muqing wasn't as strong as Zhao Yufei, it was safer with two sacred lords together. That's good. If anything happens, tell me first. Zhao Feng looked at Yufei and said gently. Zhao Feng started to cultivate after returning to his place. Using the 10,000 divine thoughts technique, Zhao Feng started to multitask. The first part of his thoughts was used to consolidate the 9th level of the earth of wind lightning. Zhao Feng needed to increase his cultivation, and the earth of wind lightning had just reached the early stages. If he didn't consolidate it, it would affect his future cultivation and breakthroughs. The second part of his thoughts was used to comprehend the 6th level of the sacred lightning body. Zhao Feng used many precious ancient resources and prepared to break through to the early stages of the 6th level. The last part of his thoughts was used to absorb the power of God Tribulation lightning from the demigod head in the dimension of his left eye. Not only could the power of God Tribulation lightning increase the power of Zhao Feng's soul eye bloodline techniques, it could also refine Zhao Feng's soul intent. Whoosh! At the same time, several spirit-gathering soul-refining grass appeared in Zhao Feng's hand, and a dark surge of mental energy flowed into Zhao Feng's soul. Right now, Zhao Feng focused more on strengthening his soul intent. Zhao Feng had plenty of resources in terms of his state of existence and body. As long as his soul intent increased, Zhao Feng could try to use the mysterious golden ball to duplicate things of a higher quality. Apart from cultivating, Zhao Feng would occasionally enter the ancient dream realm to provide resources to increase the strength of the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the earth-shattering raging bulls. 2 months later, the members of the Grand Imperial Hall mainly gathered in Ling Province. Some of the upper echelon members of Sky Suspension Palace and other 3-star forces also came. On the other side, the Dark Capital Cult, Demonic Sky Palace, and other top forces gathered together and faced off against the humans. The low-to-mid battles in Ling Province started to move towards Lan Province and Shuang Province, because everyone knew that a shocking battle was about to take place there. On a certain day, the two Lord dynasties started a small battle in Ling Province. Although there weren't many people fighting, almost all of them were unrivaled emperors and sacred lords, and they were led by sacred kings. In the end, in this small tentative war, the human side had a slight advantage and defeated the outsiders. Zhao Feng was in seclusion within the misty spatial world, but he used the Dark Heart Seal to communicate with Old Monster Su on the battlefield of Ling Province and obtain information. I didn't expect such a terrifying battle to take place already. Zhao Feng sighed. Almost all of the weakest people in the small battle in Ling Province were peak emperors. Almost all the powerful forces of the two lord dynasties had gathered here. Several emperors and old monster Su from the Ocean Smoke Pavilion were on the battlefield of Ling Province. Of course, there weren't even 100 people participating in the battle. After all, the level of the battle was too high. 3 months later, Zhao Feng ended his seclusion. In this period of time, a few more small battles seemed to take place on the battlefield of Ling Province. The 6th level of the sacred lightning body has also reached the early stages. Zhao Feng's state of existence had increased by a small level. Whoosh! The next instant, Zhao Feng entered the ancient dream realm. Target the ruler of the forest, the sky, fire, lightning ape. Zhao Feng ordered. Zhao Feng then led the earth-shattering raging bulls and the golden-winged scarlet tigers toward a forbidden ground in the forest. Rumble! Heaven and earth suddenly shook, and a giant fiery red ape descended in front of Zhao Feng. The pressure of an absolute ruler instantly spread out. Roar! The golden-winged scarlet tigers and the earth-shattering raging bulls started to panic. It was obvious that the sky, fire, lightning ape's bloodline was much higher than theirs, and it had absolute power over them. Zhao Feng immediately circulated his sacred lightning body to resist the sky, fire, lightning ape's terrifying pressure. This sky, fire, lightning ape strength has already reached the level of a sacred king. After interacting with many sacred kings, Zhao Feng was able to estimate the sky, fire, lightning ape strength. However, Zhao Feng had a strong group of ancient beasts, so he wasn't scared of the sky, fire, lightning ape at all. If Zhao Feng could bring the ancient beasts here to the outside world, Sacred King Roaring Sky definitely wouldn't have dared to chase after Zhao Feng and company. This is my territory. You're seeking death. The sky, fire, lightning ape sent out a surge of mental energy. Sky, fire, lightning ape, become my subordinate, and you'll be able to keep your life. Zhao Feng smiled confidently. Lowly human, how dare you enslave a race with an ancient bloodline? The sky, fire, lightning ape instantly scolded. With just one glance, it could tell that the beasts around Zhao Feng were all enslaved by Zhao Feng, and it could also tell that Zhao Feng didn't have an ancient bloodline. Go! Zhao Feng ordered. The golden-winged scarlet tigers and the earth-shattering raging bulls instantly split into 2 groups and attacked from the ground and the sky respectively. Die for me! Facing such a huge force, the sky, fire, lightning ape didn't hesitate and immediately activated the power of its bloodline. Wong boom! The sky, fire, lightning ape's body started to burn with fire. At the same time, its fists, eyes, and mouth started to spit out faint blue lightning. Boom! The sky, fire, thunder ape's huge thunder fist was accompanied by surging scarlet flames as it blasted out, forming a huge pillar of lightning and fire. It was ferocious and domineering, looking down on all directions. So strong. Zhao Feng was shocked. Luckily, the beasts under his control were all controlled by Zhao Feng's mind. So when the sky, fire, lightning ape attacked, Zhao Feng could sense it and control the beast to dodge the attack. Boom! 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 Zhao Feng circulated his sacred lightning body and used the lightning wings flying technique to join the battle. Facing such a terrifying opponent, Zhao Feng didn't hold back at all and attacked with all his might. Zhao Feng instantly released the physical force lightning domain and the little world of wind lightning projection. He used all his strength in every attack and used the amplification provided by the little world projection and the physical force lightning domain. Boom! The earth-shattering raging bulls flew under the sky, fire, lightning ape, while the golden-winged scarlet tigers flew in the sky and used their wings and claws to attack. Zhao Feng and the 2 groups of beasts cooperated well and continuously depleted the sky, fire, lightning ape's energy. Purple Soul Confusion. Zhao Feng occasionally released soul illusions. Although the effect was very weak, it was enough to distract the sky, fire, lightning ape. After a while, the sky, fire, lightning ape was at a disadvantage under the attacks of Zhao Feng and the 2 groups of beasts. Despicable human. The power of the sky, fire, lightning, ape's bloodline gradually weakened. Boom! The sky, fire, lightning, ape suddenly jumped up and turned into a scarlet bolt of lightning that flew into the distance. The sky, fire, lightning, ape gave up its territory and ran away because it knew that it would definitely lose this battle. If it continued to stay here, it might become Zhao Feng's slave like the earth-shattering raging bulls and the golden-winged scarlet tigers. Chase. How could Zhao Feng let such a strong battle power leave just like that? Even if the enslavement failed and the sky, fire, lightning ape was killed, its flesh was still an extremely precious resource. Chapter 1066. Chase after it. We can't let it get away like this. Zhao Feng immediately controlled the golden-winged scarlet tigers and earth-shattering raging bulls to chase after it. The sky, fire, lightning, ape speed wasn't its forte, so Zhao Feng and the beast soon caught up to it. However, the sky, fire, lightning, ape didn't care about anything and kept running. Zhao Feng and the beast couldn't stop it, so they could only keep attacking it to worsen its injuries. Zhao Feng and the beast soon chased after the sky, fire, lightning, ape and left the forest. They arrived in front of a small mountain range. Mental energy spike. A purple and gold spike of lightning shot out of Zhao Feng's left eye and entered the sky, fire, lightning, ape's soul. The sky, fire, lightning, ape was severely injured, so Zhao Feng's soul eye bloodline technique was effective against it. Zhao Feng's soul attack was perfectly timed, and the sky, fire, lightning, ape instantly fell to the ground. Rumble. Boom. Boom. More than a dozen earth-shattering raging bulls charged toward the sky, fire, lightning, ape. Whoosh! All the golden-winged scarlet tigers in the sky instantly attacked fiercely. Their attacks were all aimed at the sky, fire, lightning, ape's original injuries. Zhao Feng didn't stop. He kept using soul eye bloodline techniques to weaken the sky, fire, lightning, ape's soul intent. Damn it! Shameless human. The sky, fire, lightning, ape was injured in many places, and blood flowed to the ground. It's time. Zhao Feng's left eye instantly focused, and a strong surge of eye bloodline power formed a bottomless purple whirlpool that seemed like an endless purple abyss. A forbidden power that could seal and suck out the soul instantly covered the sky, fire, lightning, ape's body. Gaze of the God Eye. Zhao Feng fully unleashed the gaze of the God Eye and circulated his soul power and eye intent to the maximum. After all, his target this time was a sacred king-level sky, fire, lightning, ape. Human, don't even think about it. The sky, fire, lightning, ape seemed to know what Zhao Feng was going to do, and its soul started to struggle. It's indeed difficult. Zhao Feng revealed a bitter expression. Despite being severely injured, the sky, fire, thunder, ape's soul did not leave its body at all. Zhao Feng commanded the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the earth-shattering raging bulls to continue attacking the sky, fire, thunder, ape. The attacks of mystic light realms would affect the soul dimension, which would weaken the sky, fire, lightning, ape soul intent. At this moment, Zhao Feng's eye intent was extremely powerful. He could use the gaze of the God Eye for a very long time. Meanwhile, the sky, fire, lightning, ape, which was being suppressed by Zhao Feng's gaze of the God Eye, was constantly being injured. Its soul was gradually weakening, and it started to float outside its body. All right, let's continue. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. He strengthened the gaze of the God Eye and extracted the sky, fire, lightning, ape's soul. If he could enslave the sky, fire, lightning, ape, Zhao Feng would have an easier time excavating resources in the ancient dream realm. Boom! Under the control of Zhao Feng's intent, the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the earth-shattering raging bulls kept on attacking the sky, fire, lightning, ape. The sky, fire, lightning, ape's Yuan Qi was heavily injured under the attacks of both the physical and soul dimensions. It was extremely tired, and its soul started to leave its body. Right at this moment, a loud explosion suddenly came from the small hill in front of them. Following this, a giant gray figure sprang out from the ground, causing the ground to tremble violently. A terrifying pressure as heavy as a mountain was instantly unleashed. The earth-shattering raging bulls, the golden-winged scarlet tigers, and the sky-fire-lightning ape all revealed expressions of fear when they saw this giant gray figure. The sky-fire-lightning ape's resistance dropped to its lowest. Okay. Zhao Feng strengthened the suction of the gaze of the god, eye, and instantly sucked the sky-fire-lightning ape's soul into the dimension of his left eye. The giant gray figure roared as it looked at Zhao Feng and the sky-fire-lightning ape. Roar! A powerful airflow shockwave blasted over. Zhao Feng felt a strong sense of danger, so he waved his left hand and put the sky-fire-lightning ape's body away. He then controlled the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the earth-shattering raging bulls to quickly retreat. Just one roar has such power. Zhao Feng was filled with fear, and he quickly returned to the forest with the golden-winged scarlet tigers and the earth-shattering raging bulls in case the 10,000 ancient races creature chased after them. After all, Zhao Feng had used up a lot of his soul power and intent, and the two beast hordes were heavily injured in the battle with the sky-fire-lightning ape. Master, that's the Earth Crystal race. The leader of the golden-winged scarlet tigers said to Zhao Feng. Earth Crystal race. Zhao Feng's expression changed dramatically, and disbelief appeared on his face. He didn't have a description of what the Earth Crystal race looked like, but there was a description of their abilities. The Earth Crystal race was ranked 9,136th among the 10,000 ancient races. The bodies of these ancient races could produce peak-grade primal crystal stones, and mature Earth Crystal race members could even create substandard god crystals. Apparently, if an Earth Crystal race member broke through to the heavenly divine realm, they could even produce god crystals. Zhao Feng had just broken through to the mystic light realm, so he wasn't in a rush to use substandard god crystals yet. However, Zhao Feng was extremely strict with his cultivation speed, so he would definitely use substandard god crystals to cultivate his mystic light sacred power in the future. The mystic light realm experts of the continent zone usually didn't bear to use substandard god crystals and would only use them when they were trying to break through a bottleneck. From this, one could see how rare substandard god crystals were in the continent zone. Although Zhao Feng had obtained some substandard god crystal from the Crown Prince trial, it definitely wasn't enough to support Zhao Feng's cultivation in the future. However, I can't do anything to the Earth Crystal race for now. Zhao Feng suppressed the desire in his heart. Just the Earth Crystal race just now had the strength of the Sky Fire Lightning Ape, and its bloodline power was much stronger than the Sky Fire Lightning Apes, so it could suppress the Sky Fire Lightning Ape to a certain degree. Most importantly, the Earth Crystal race lived in groups. After retreating into the forest, Zhao Feng spent a lot of time enslaving the Sky Fire Lightning Ape and was lucky enough to succeed. Zhao Feng then placed the Sky Fire Lightning Ape's soul into its body. With the Sky Fire Lightning Ape's powerful sacred body, it would recover on its own soon. At the same time, Zhao Feng asked the Sky Fire Lightning Ape to hand over all of its resources. Although it was slightly unwilling, the Sky Fire Lightning Ape still did as Zhao Feng asked. Whoosh! The Sky Fire Lightning Ape poured out all of the resources from its little world. Zhao Feng's eyes instantly lit up. The Sky Fire Lightning Ape was indeed worthy of being the ruler of the forest. It had a lot of resources and the quality of them was quite high. Zhao Feng stared at a dark red herb and felt a strong soul aura. Master, this is the Fire Spirit Soul Scorching Herb. The Sky Fire Lightning Ape introduced it to Zhao Feng. The Fire Spirit Soul Scorching Herb used the soul flame to burn and torture the soul to strengthen the energy and soul intent of the consumer. However, most of the time, the Fire Spirit Soul Scorching Herb was used to refine poisonous pills. What a magical soul herb! Zhao Feng was slightly surprised. He was in desperate need of soul cultivation resources. Although the Fire Spirit Soul Scorching Herb was a little special, Zhao Feng didn't think too much about it and took it away. Zhao Feng then picked out many more precious herbs and left the ancient dream realm. As soon as he left the ancient dream realm, Old Monster Su reported the situation of the Ling province battlefield to Zhao Feng through the Dark Heart Seal. What? A demigod realm expert has appeared on the battlefield? Zhao Feng was shocked. A while ago, only a Sacred King realm expert had started a small war to test the waters. He didn't expect a demigod realm expert to take action. Demigods stood at the peak of the continent and were respected by tens of thousands of people. They were the strongest battle power of the continent. A battle between demigods was taking place in the sky above the Ling province battlefield. The human side sent out the Grand Elder of the Grand Imperial Hall, Grand Emperor Song, also known as Demigod Tai Chi. On the non-human side, the Grand Elder of Demonic Sky Palace, Demigod Destruction. Of course, these two demigod experts were still testing each other. After all, this was a war between two empires. Both sides were testing each other's strength. If they were careless, they might pay a heavy price that would be difficult to recover. There was a large hall built at the back of the Ling province battlefield. It was covered in a forbidden light and became a forbidden ground on the battlefield. Within the large hall, what makes the non-humans so confident that they dare to declare war on us? The leader was an elder wearing a white robe with no aura at all as he spoke. The non-humans won't attack us if they don't have any hidden cards. A skinny elder with sword-like eyebrows said in a certain tone. We need to prepare as well, just in case. The elder wearing the white robe said. Tai Chi doesn't have a high chance of winning this battle. The elder wearing the white robe raised his head, and his gaze seemed to be able to see through everything. Two demigod experts clashed in the sky above the Ling province battlefield. Their casual attacks contained the power to destroy heaven and earth and cause space to twist and shatter. Tai Chi, you're not my match. Demigod Destruction, who was covered in black scales and had a spiral horn on his head, laughed and said, Then try this. Demigod Tai Chi waved his palms, and limitless intent started to turn into a ball that radiated a forbidden aura. Limitless heaven and earth. Demigod Tai Chi pushed out the ball of nothingness. Light of destruction. Demigod Destruction's eyes suddenly changed and flashed with a golden light. His eyes that were like the sun released a bright golden light that radiated a power of destruction that made one's heart shake. Boom! A beam of golden light shot out of Demigod Destruction's eyes and landed on the ball that Demigod Tai Chi had pushed out. Immediately, the point of contact between the illusory sphere and the bright golden light began to slowly shatter. This is the profound meaning of yin-yang of the five elements. Demigod Destruction exclaimed. Only Demigod Tai Chi could merge the five elements of yin and yang so perfectly as if they were one. Otherwise, ordinary matter would have been destroyed by his light of destruction. Everything in the world will turn to dust before the eye of destruction. A shocking surge of eye intent surged from Demigod Destruction's eyes, and a golden beam of light shot out. It was as if he was the most eye-catching existence in the world. Wherever the light of destruction shone, even space seemed to shatter bit by bit. Boom, boom, boom. The sky flickered. The formidable power Upanishad seemed to be able to change the sky and earth, the sun and the moon. The sacred lords and quasi-sacred lords below were stunned. They had to circulate their magnificent power to block the shock waves of the battle. They didn't even have the will to fight anymore. Suddenly, heaven and earth Yuan Qi surged, and a white light shot down. Retreat. More than half of Demigod Tai Chi's body shattered, and he quickly retreated back to his base. Let's go. Retreat. Seeing that a demigod expert had been defeated, the sacred lords and invincible emperors started to panic and run. On the other hand, the blood of the non-humans boiled as they chased after them. Where do you think you're going? Demigod Destruction descended from the sky. One boom. His eyes suddenly shot out a destructive light that covered a large area, emitting the ultimate intent of destroying everything. The bodies and souls of all the sacred lords and invincible emperors started to shatter and disappear. Many experts immediately used defensive secret techniques or used the projection of their little worlds to defend. However, no matter if it was the physical dimension, the soul dimension, or laws of intent, they would all be destroyed in front of the eyes of destruction. Run. That's one of the descendants of the 8 great god eyes, the eyes of destruction. This time, the human demigod rank expert was defeated. Chapter 1067. Zhao Feng received the latest news from Old Monster Su on the battlefield of Ling Province. The Grand Elder of the Grand Imperial Hall, Demigod Tai Chi, and the Grand Elder of Demonic Sky Palace, Demigod Destruction. In the end, the human side lost. I didn't think that the non-humans would have a demigod descendant of one of the 8 great god eyes. Zhao Feng's heart jumped. Demigod Destruction was a descendant of the Destruction God Eye. The Destruction God Eye was one of the 8 great god eyes with the strongest offensive power. It controlled the laws of destruction and had the power to destroy heaven and earth. Zhao Feng had heard about demigod Tai Chi before. Legend said that this demigod was the youngest demigod of the Grand Imperial Hall, and he cultivated the laws of the 5 elements and comprehended yin and yang before finally touching the power of a god. Heavenly divine realm. Battle intent burned in Zhao Feng's eyes. Shua. Zhao Feng put the fire spirit soul scorching grass into the dimension of his left eye and started to duplicate it. Several days later, Zhao Feng took out one fire spirit soul scorching grass and left the other in the dimension of his left eye. He would duplicate it when Zhao Feng recovered to his peak state. Zhao Feng ate some resources that could recover his Yuan Qi before circulating the 10,000 divine thoughts technique to absorb the fire spirit soul scorching grass's energy. Wisps of dark red mental energy slowly entered Zhao Feng's soul. In an instant, Zhao Feng's soul felt a tearing pain, and the surface of his lightning soul body started to twist and flash with a dark red light. This bit of pain is nothing compared to the pain I felt when my soul was splitting. Zhao Feng gritted his teeth and continued to absorb the energy within the fire spirit soul scorching grass. When the energy of the fire spirit soul scorching grass ran out, 2 more fire spirit soul scorching grass were duplicated in the dimension of his left eye, and Zhao Feng took one out. 3 months later, Zhao Feng opened his glittering eyes, and a scorching soul energy began to radiate from him. My soul intent has reached the late stages of the mystic light realm. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. In these 3 months, Zhao Feng had consumed a total of 5 stalks of fire spirit soul scorching grass. His soul was being torn apart and burned at every moment, and his hard work had finally paid off. Now that Zhao Feng's soul intent had reached the late stages of the mystic light realm, the power of his soul-based eye bloodline techniques had increased once again. Now, even if he faced a sacred king, Zhao Feng's eye bloodline techniques and symbols of God Tribulation Lightning would be able to injure them. It wasn't like before when Zhao Feng used his Wind Lightning Eye Flame against Sacred King Roaring Sky, but Sacred King Roaring Sky didn't even feel any pain. I wonder if I can replicate the substandard god slaying arrow now. Zhao Feng's heart palpitated. The increase in soul intent was accompanied by the increase in eye intent. Once Zhao Feng could replicate substandard gods slaying arrows in batches, he wouldn't need to fear a holy king, and he would have a certain ability to protect himself in the war between dynasties. Whoosh! Zhao Feng carefully put the substandard god slaying arrow into the dimension of his left eye. Wang, the mysterious golden ball spun quickly in the dimension of his left eye and released layers of mysterious, faint golden ripples that passed through the substandard god slaying arrow. A ball of black matter came out of the mysterious golden ball a long time later and condensed in the air, radiating an ancient and desolate aura. It's starting to replicate. Zhao Feng was extremely familiar with the steps of replicating the mysterious golden ball. This time, it would take a long time to replicate the substandard god slaying arrow. During this period of time, Zhao Feng's consciousness was mainly focused on the dimension of his left eye. The other part of his consciousness was used to study the soul-splitting technique and some soul eye bloodline techniques. I need to stop immediately if I can't replicate it. Zhao Feng didn't dare to focus too much on cultivating his body and mystic light sacred power. During this period of time, Zhao Feng also used the Dark Heart Seal to communicate with Old Monster Su and learn about the situation of the battlefield outside. The news of the defeat of the human demigod instantly spread across the Lord dynasty, and the entire Great Gone Lord dynasty started to panic. The forces of the Great Gone Lord dynasty originally thought that the humans wouldn't lose and that the Grand Imperial Hall would definitely be able to stop the invasion of the non-humans. But now they couldn't help but worry. All the peak experts of the Lord dynasty and the old monsters that were in seclusion all started to gather toward the battlefield. Demigod Dark Ocean of Nine Darkness Palace left Nine Darkness Palace and headed toward the front lines. The Grand Elder of Sky Suspension Palace, Demigod Withered Breath, and a group of upper echelon members left the clan. Several more battles occurred on the battlefield of Ling Province over the past 3 months, and the humans and non-humans were evenly matched. Looks like the battle has reached the most critical moment. Even Zhao Feng, who is usually calm, couldn't help but worry for the Great Gone Lord dynasty. From the current situation, he was unable to determine what the final result would be, and who would win and who would lose. Even the famous divination masters of the Lord dynasty wouldn't be able to predict it. After all, there were too many variables on the battlefield. I should go take a look at Ling Province as well. Zhao Feng made a decision in his heart. A battle between demigods was extremely rare, and Zhao Feng believed that he would be able to learn a lot if he could observe a battle between demigods. 8 days later, most of Zhao Feng's consciousness was still focused on the dimension of his left eye. At this moment, Zhao Feng's eye intent was extremely weak, and he could replenish the yuan qi he had expended through precious resources. I wonder if I'll succeed. Zhao Feng's heart was uneasy. In the dimension of his left eye, there was a dark golden arrow floating above the mysterious golden ball. On the other side was a ball of black matter, and one could faintly see the blurry outline of an arrow. The mysterious golden ball in the center suddenly spun faster, and at the same time, the expenditure of Zhao Feng's eye intent in yuan qi doubled. The duplication has reached the last stage. Zhao Feng had a complicated expression that was filled with joy and calmness. Wang, Zhao Feng's eye intent was quickly used up, and the ball of black matter above the mysterious golden ball started to condense into the shape of a dark golden arrow. The mysterious golden ball's spinning speed started to slow down, and Zhao Feng's eye intent was completely used up. At this moment, Zhao Feng's left eye seemed to become a normal eye, and he couldn't use any of the power of the god's spiritual eye. So close. Zhao Feng started to sweat. At the last moment, Zhao Feng didn't want to stop. Luckily, the god's spiritual eye's eye intent wasn't damaged too much, but he needed to rest and recover. Shua. Zhao Feng put the 2 substandard god-slaying arrows into the misty spatial world. Now that Zhao Feng had 1 more substandard god-slaying arrow, he had another hidden card. He wasn't in a rush to duplicate it. Zhao Feng planned to wait until his eye intent became stronger before duplicating the substandard god-slaying arrow. After successfully duplicating the substandard god-slaying arrow, Zhao Feng started to recover his body and soul. Half a month later, Old Monster Su sent a message that interrupted Zhao Feng's seclusion. Master, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon has appeared on the non-human side in a war between the 2 Lord dynasties. At this moment, Zhao Feng had completely recovered, and his expression turned to surprise as he immediately ended his seclusion. I didn't expect the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon to be hiding among the non-humans. Could this be the reason why the non-humans started the war? Zhao Feng murmured. Although the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had been severely injured by the upper echelon of the Grand Imperial Hall and Sky Suspension Palace, it had probably recovered quite a bit since it dared to appear again. One had to know that the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's strength was on par with ancient god Seiyong at its peak. True gods had 9 ranks, and ancient gods were on par with powerful true gods above rank 6. Zhao Feng estimated that the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's strength had only recovered to the level of a demigod. This meant that the non-humans had gained the battle power of a powerful demigod. A demigod was enough to cause the Great Gon Lord dynasty, which was originally on par with the Dark Moon Lord dynasty, to fall into a disadvantageous position. I need to go to the Ling province battlefield. Zhao Feng started to make his preparations. When Zhao Feng left his hall, a golden armored guard stood nearby. Senior Zhao, His Highness wants me to tell you that he has returned to the Great Gon Imperials. His Highness also want me to give you this. The guard immediately spoke when he saw Zhao Feng come out and respectfully handed over a spiritual pet bag. Zhao Feng paused for a moment. This spiritual pet bag was a hidden card that Zhao Feng had given the 9th Prince when he left last time. There were 2 beast hordes and 3 quasi-sacred Lord Sky, shaking golden apes inside. The 9th Prince left the battlefield. Zhao Feng started to think. There was probably only one reason why the 9th Prince would leave at this time. The Sacred Emperor position had been changed. It had almost been 5 years since the Crown Prince trial ended, and there was only 1 year left until the 9th Prince ascended to the throne. He obviously couldn't stay on the battlefield and risk his life right now. Zhao Feng put away the spiritual pet bag and put all the beasts inside into the misty spatial world. Zhao Feng's eyes moved slightly as he scanned with his divine sense and found that Nan Gongsheng and Zhao Yufei were both in seclusion. Therefore, Zhao Feng left the stronghold by himself and headed toward the Ling province battlefield. On the way, Zhao Feng and Old Monster Su kept in contact. The 2 Lord dynasties have started fighting, and the Great Gon Lord dynasty has sent out 3 demigod experts. Old Monster Su told Zhao Feng about the situation of the battle. Just listening to it made Zhao Feng's blood boil. What kind of scene is a battle between demigods like? Zhao Feng slightly regretted not leaving behind spatial coordinates near the Ling province battlefield. A pair of scarlet golden wings spread behind Zhao Feng's back as he used the lightning wings flying technique and sped toward the battlefield. Old Monster Su, you can get closer to the battlefield. Zhao Feng messaged Old Monster Su. At this moment, Zhao Feng was only a few cities away from Old Monster Su. On the Ling province battlefield, Old Monster Su, who was watching from the back, was puzzled, but he still got closer to the battlefield. A strong surge of intent suddenly appeared from the depths of his soul, and a layer of golden light flashed through his eyes. In that instant, Old Monster Su felt as if his vision had increased by dozens of times. His gaze looked toward the distant sky and saw the demigods fighting through the storm of destruction. This is a battle between demigods. Old Monster Su's heart shook, and his eyes became dazed. Just from his gaze alone, Old Monster Su could feel that the terrifying power that could destroy heaven and earth had completely surpassed the level of a sacred lord. A casual attack from a demigod could kill him. Humans, I've returned, and your death isn't far away. A male covered in black scales revealed a deadly expression as he was covered in a layer of scarlet black flames. A faint black tornado appeared around him and swept across a radius of several dozen miles. In front of him was an elder wearing a golden robe. He held a golden staff with a dragon head, and a layer of golden dragons covered his body, covering him in the image of a fierce and lifelike dragon head. This person was the person in charge of the Grand Imperial Hall and the person behind the Lord Dynasty, Demigod Dragon Emperor. Black Serpent Dragon, I'll kill you today. Demigod Dragon Emperor's eyes suddenly flashed with a golden light. In that instant, heaven and earth changed color as intent surged and an invisible power of laws charged toward the Black Serpent Dragon. Chapter 1068. The 2 Lord Dynasties in the air each sent out 3 demigods. On the non-human side was Demigod Destruction from Demonic Sky Palace, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, and a demigod from the dark capital cult. The Great Gon Lore dynasty sent out demigod Tai Chi, demigod Ling, Su from Sky Suspension Palace, and the last person was the strongest expert of the Grand Imperial Hall, demigod Dragon Emperor. Haha, today is the day you humans perish. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon laughed arrogantly with a savage expression. Who? The black-scaled male waved his claw, and a faint black wave of fire instantly destroyed demigod Dragon Emperor's intent attack. At the same time, the ball of fire turned into a burning black dragon that leapt toward demigod Dragon Emperor. Even if the Dark Moon dynasty has one more Black Loach, they won't be a match for the Great Qian dynasty. Demigod Dragon Emperor's expression changed as he waved the dragon-headed golden staff in his hand. A golden, dragon-shaped wavy blade slashed out, and a terrifying power instantly destroyed the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's black dragon aura. Roar! This golden dragon-shaped wavy blade let out a dragon roar that shook the universe as it slashed toward the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. Humph! If I recover my strength, a mouthful of world-extinguishing dragon flame will be enough to destroy you humans. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes were ruthless. Although that was the case, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon immediately circulated its Dragon Yuan divine power and unleashed a layer of destructive scarlet-black flames when facing demigod Dragon Emperor's attack. Boom! Bang! The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had a solemn expression as it felt the terrifying wave of divine power. That's the strongest human half-deity. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon had to use its full strength against demigod Dragon Emperor. If it wasn't for the fact that it wanted to speed up the pace of the battle, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon definitely wouldn't have come out at this time. Back then, he had been besieged by the human demigods and was severely injured, causing his strength to plummet. Even his origin space had been severely damaged. Helpless, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon went to the foreign races and made an agreement with the Dark Capital Cult. The Dark Moon dynasty provided resources to help the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon recover its strength, and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon helped the Dark Moon dynasty destroy the Great Gon dynasty. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon wasn't even at the level of a demigod, but it had the battle power of a demigod. However, there was still a gap between him and the strongest expert of the Grand Imperial Hall, demigod Dragon Emperor. Boom! Bang! On the other side of the sky, the demigod experts of the two lore dynasties had also taken action. The battle power of quasi-sacred lords and sacred lords from both sides clashed in the demigod battlefield. Boom, boom, boom. The wind and clouds in the sky changed. The terrifying energy had changed the sky and earth. The sun and the moon reversed. If it wasn't for the fact that the demigods were fighting very far away from the ground, any shockwave would be able to kill quasi-sacred lords and initial stage mystic light realm experts. In the battlefield on the ground, only Saint King level experts could occasionally spy on the terrifying battle in the distant sky. At the same time, the top experts of the Great Qian dynasty and the Dark Moon dynasty were all paying attention to the battle that could affect the fate of the two dynasties. In order to deal with the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, the Grand Imperial Hall sent out their strongest battle power, demigod Dragon Emperor. However, the person in charge of the Dark Capital Cult of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty, demigod Dark Dragon, hadn't appeared yet. On the side of the Great Qian dynasty, everyone was worried and had an ominous feeling. However, if demigod Dragon Emperor was able to suppress the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, then the situation would be completely different. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng had already left Lan Province and arrived at the edge of Ling Province. Through the Dark Heart Seal, Zhao Feng sent a surge of intent into Old Monster Su's body. Therefore, Zhao Feng was able to see everything through Old Monster Su's eyes. A power that has surpassed the mystic light realm, divine power. Zhao Feng's heart shook, and he became slightly impatient. Through Old Monster Su's eyes, Zhao Feng could only see the battle between demigods, but he couldn't use the analysis ability of his left eye to see the battle. As the 6 demigods of the 2 Lord dynasties took action, Zhao Feng's heart shook, and his thoughts floated to the distant battlefield. It was as if he was standing in old Monster Su's position and watching the demigods fight in the sky. Demigod Dragon Emperor, the strongest demigod of the Great Qian Lord dynasty. Zhao Feng ordered old Monster Su and locked onto the battle between Demigod Dragon Emperor and the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. Everyone could see that this battle was a crucial point between the 2 Lord dynasties. After all, the strongest expert of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty, Demigod Dark Dragon, hadn't appeared yet. Once Demigod Dragon Emperor was injured while fighting the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, the strongest expert of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty, Demigod Dark Dragon, would immediately take action. However, Demigod Dragon Emperor was indeed worthy of being the strongest demigod of the Great Qian Lord dynasty. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was obviously not Demigod Dragon Emperor's match, and it soon fell into a passive situation. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's strength has just recovered to the level of a demigod. Zhao Feng was suddenly puzzled. Why didn't the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon wait until his strength recovered to a higher level? Maybe the Dark Moon Lord dynasty doesn't trust the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon either. Zhao Feng murmured to himself. The Destruction Dragon race was a terrifying race that was born to destroy. Wherever they went, they turned everything into nothingness. The Destruction Dragon race's belief was to destroy the entire fan universe. Therefore, the Destruction Dragon race was hated by all the other 10,000 ancient races. The Dark Moon Lord dynasty probably knew how dangerous the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was, so they wouldn't completely trust the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon and let it increase its strength. Of course, this was just Zhao Feng's guesses. This is the projection of a demigod's little world. The shock in Zhao Feng's heart came wave after wave. Through old Monster Su's vision, Zhao Feng realized that the little world of a demigod contained the laws of the 5 elements. This proved that Zhao Feng's guess was correct. In order to form a little world into a true dimension, the little world had to contain the power of the 5 elements. What's going on? This is... Zhao Feng, who was flying, stopped as his thoughts floated to the other side. Demigod Dragon Emperor? That's the god-slaying arrow. Demigod Dragon Emperor has taken out the god-slaying arrow. The Great Gon Lord dynasty spectating area broke out into discussion. The other demigod from the Grand Imperial Hall looked into the sky with a deep gaze. Dragon Emperor already planned to use this god-slaying arrow to severely injure the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. The demigod gave a faint smile. The strongest demigod of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty hadn't appeared yet, so how could Demigod Dragon Emperor not know the gravity of the situation? In reality, Demigod Dragon Emperor already had a plan. In the sky, an illusionary bow made from divine power appeared in Demigod Dragon Emperor's hand. A scarlet golden arrow covered in a metallic divine light appeared on the bow. Only experts at the divine realm could use the full power of the god-slaying arrow. At this moment, the god-slaying arrow released a dazzling light in Demigod Dragon Emperor's hand, and the laws of metal that could destroy heaven and earth surrounded heaven and earth. An invincible and sharp golden divine radiance that could pierce through all things directly tore apart all the laws and profundities in the sky. It was like a sun that rose from the darkness and dispersed everything. This is the god-slaying arrow. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's body trembled as shock appeared in its eyes. That's right. Demigod Dragon Emperor's expression was calm as his divine sense locked onto the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. This god-slaying arrow was obtained by the princes of the Great Gon Imperials in the divine illusion dimension. With Demigod Dragon Emperor's strength, this god-slaying arrow was enough to severely injure the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. If he had the chance, he would completely destroy this dragon this time. You old fogey, you should have left the substandard god weapon to deal with Demigod Dark Dragon. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon instantly cursed. It knew that the great Gonlor dynasty had the god-slaying arrow a long time ago. But it was certain that the great Gonlor dynasty would leave this arrow for the strongest expert of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty, demigod Dark Dragon. If the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was at its peak, it wouldn't even blink when facing the god-slaying arrow, but now it was unable to block the power of the god-slaying arrow. Scarlet-black flames surrounded the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's body as it turned into a giant black dragon several hundred yards long. Wung Wung, the projection of a little world surrounded by scarlet-black draconic flames, appeared around the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's body. It waved its tail and instantly disappeared from heaven and earth. Bung! Right at this moment, Demigod Dragon Emperor released the bowstring, and a golden arrow that was 100 miles long flashed with limitless divine light as it tore through the sky and tore through everything. At the same time, Demigod Dragon Emperor flew through the air and chased after the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. At the edge of Ling Province, Zhao Feng was dazed as the image of Demigod Dragon Emperor shooting the god-slaying arrow appeared in his mind. This is the true power of the god-slaying arrow. It's enough to severely injure a demigod expert. Zhao Feng was stunned for a long time before speaking. Compared to Demigod Dragon Emperor, the power of the god-slaying arrow that Zhao Feng used back then was almost negligible. Right at this moment, Zhao Feng's gaze passed through several dozen thousand miles and saw a familiar figure. Xian Wuheng? Why is he here? Zhao Feng was surprised. Now that the two demigods were fighting, Xian Wuheng wasn't in the spectating area and had come to the edge of Ling Province. A white light flashed in Xian Wuheng's eyes as he extended his arm with his palm facing down. Even Zhao Feng didn't realize that there was a complicated white crystal pattern on Xian Wuheng's palm. Is it here? Who's calling me? Xian Wuheng's expression was slightly lost. Pa! Xian Wuheng suddenly slammed his palm onto the ground. Several dozen thousand miles away, Zhao Feng looked at Xian Wuheng's actions with surprise. He didn't know what Xian Wuheng was doing. Peng! Peng! Zhao Feng's god spiritual, I suddenly started to twitch as an omen of danger appeared in Zhao Feng's heart. A faint golden ripple spread across Zhao Feng's left eye as he looked into the ground. Not good. Zhao Feng's heart jumped as he revealed a fearful expression. Boom! Wung, Wung, Wung. Zhao Feng immediately used the lightning wing spatial flash and turned into a scarlet red streak of light that flew backward and disappeared in the blink of an eye. However, Zhao Feng didn't stop even after using the lightning wing spatial flash to travel several miles. He continued to run as if there was an unavoidable danger behind him. Boom, 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 boom. Right at this moment, a deafening tremor came from the depths of the ground. It was as if countless desolate beasts were roaring in anger. The earth split open into a huge ravine that looked like a galaxy. A white, illusory divine light shot up into the sky with an aura that could annihilate everything. At this instant, all living beings within several dozen thousand miles were killed. As the white crystalline void divine light shone, heaven and earth distorted and the void shattered. From that dark and cold void crack, a frightening suction force of death came from that dark and cold void crack. At this moment, Zhao Feng finally stopped and felt the power of destruction behind him that could instantly kill a demigod. Peng! Peng! Zhao Feng's face was pale white, and his heart was still beating rapidly. If he had been half a breath later, Zhao Feng's soul would have been destroyed even with the god's spiritual eye, the god's slaying arrow, and the misty spatial world. What's going on? Zhao Feng asked in a daze as he looked at the scene in front of him. Chapter 1069. What is this? Zhao Feng stared at the terrifying scene in front of him and blurted out in shock. In front of him, a ravine that was 10,000 miles wide had appeared in the ground. White divine light shot out from it, and a forbidden power that could destroy everything enveloped everything within a radius of 10,000 miles. Wherever this forbidden divine light spread out, everything turned into nothingness. Zhao Feng was still tens of thousands of miles away from this divine aura, but his body was still unable to endure the pressure of this divine light. Xian Wuheng. Zhao Feng immediately thought of Xian Wuheng. According to what Zhao Feng had seen, this phenomenon seemed to have been caused by Xian Wuheng. But Xian Wuheng was at the center of the ravine, so how could he block the impact of this divine power? Bzz. A faint golden ripple spread across Zhao Feng's left eye. Zhao Feng looked at the ravine that was still spitting out divine light. It can even pierce through divine power. Zhao Feng was overjoyed, but he was also stunned. He finally understood how powerful his golden left eye was. Whoosh! Zhao Feng's gaze continued down, but this ravine seemed to extend to the deepest part of the earth and was tens of thousands of miles long. Zhao Feng pushed the see-through ability of his left eye to the limit. Finally, Zhao Feng's gaze pierced through the ground. Although his vision was rather blurry, Zhao Feng still saw a few things that made him feel incredible. Zhao Feng's breathing became erratic. The outline of an enormous palm appeared in his vision, and next to the palm was obviously a body. However, just the size of his palm was shocking, and there was no need to talk about how big the body was. Just how big is this? Zhao Feng stood still and took a deep breath. A body lay 10,000 miles underground. Not even Zhao Feng's left eye could estimate the size of this body. It might be 1,000,000 feet or 10 million feet. Zhao Feng could only think of the giant god race, ranked 15th among the 10,000 ancient races for such a huge body. However, how could there be a body with godly power underground in the continent zone? The body of God, and not an ordinary true god. Zhao Feng's eyes darkened. As he did not understand the power of a true god well enough, he could not guess the level of the power emitted by the crystal body deep underground. However, what was certain was that this power surpassed that of ordinary true divinities and stood above all living things in the continent zone. It could be said that this was the most shocking secret treasure since the birth of the continent region. It was a secret treasure that could make everyone in the continent region go crazy. Even saint rulers and demigods could not resist this temptation. Even if they knew that there was a high chance of death, they would not hesitate to rush in. But at this moment, Zhao Feng couldn't even approach the ravine on the ground, let alone go deep underground and approach the crystal body that was buried 100,000 kilometers below. Zhao Feng immediately sensed the dark heart seal and switched his vision to Old Monster Sue's. As expected, even the half-deity's battlefield has been alerted. Zhao Feng was shocked. The crack that suddenly appeared on the path spanned across Lan Province and Ling Province was several 100,000,000 miles long. At this moment, all the experts of both Lord dynasties retreated from the demigod battlefield in Ling Province. Even the sacred kings and demigods were no exception. The experts of the two dynasties who were fighting on the battlefield also hastily stopped fighting and quickly retreated. As for some of the weaker and slower experts, they were eventually turned to ashes by the aura of the god's power. What's going on? A demigod from the Grand Imperial Hall on the Great Gon Lord dynasty's side was stunned when he felt the extremely strong power of God. Why would such a terrifying power of God suddenly appear on the ground? There seems to be something beneath the battlefield. Demigod Dark Ocean of Nine Darkness Palace had a cold expression as his eyes flashed with a purple light. On the other side, the non-humans also quickly retreated several 100,000 miles away. Among the crowd, a translucent non-human covered in black scales floated in the air, emitting a terrifying mental pressure that shook the surroundings. This person was the strongest expert of the dark capital cult of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty, demigod Dark Dragon. However, at this moment, his aura was nothing compared to the divine light at the center of the battlefield. Could this be the reason why the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon encouraged me to attack the Great Gon Lord dynasty? Demigod Dark Dragon's eyes were grim. Demigod Dark Dragon had always been on guard against the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. Demigod Dark Dragon released his divine sense and scanned the ground, but it was destroyed by the white divine light before it could even get very far. What's hiding underneath? A demigod from a peak 3-star power of the Dark Moon Lord dynasty asked in shock. The last phase of the war between the Lord dynasties was interrupted by this sudden situation. At this moment, everyone on the battlefield was completely focused on the power of God and didn't think about anything else related to the war. On the other side of the sky, demigod Dragon Emperor, who was chasing after the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon, also stopped. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's enormous body was in tatters not far away. How is this possible? The power of the god corpse has leaked out. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's eyes were filled with shock and confusion. According to his previous observations, the god corpse that was buried 100,000 miles underground had lost all signs of life and should be dead. However, at this moment, the power within the god corpse had leaked out for no reason at all. The reason why he encouraged the Dark Moon Lord dynasty to attack the Great Gone Lord dynasty was because he wanted to take back this territory so that the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon could find a chance to hide underground by itself. If it could obtain the power within the god corpse, it wouldn't be a problem for it to recover to its peak strength. However, now that the power of the god corpse had leaked out, almost everyone in the continent zone knew of its existence. Whoosh! While demigod Dragon Emperor was stunned, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon turned into a wisp of black smoke and disappeared into the sky. The power of a god. Demigod Dragon Emperor's body trembled, and he no longer bothered with the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon. The Dragon Emperor had been a demigod for 80,000 years and was unable to become a god. And now, wasn't the white crystal void divine light gushing out from the ground in the distance the power of God? This was his last chance. Demigod Dragon Emperor didn't bother with the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon anymore and impatiently returned to the Great Gone Lord dynasty. Damn it! Flames of anger burned in the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's heart after it escaped. Its original plan didn't work, and now it was heavily injured by Demigod Dragon Emperor. However, he still had hope for revenge, and that was the god corpse in the depths of the earth. However, the Dark Moon Lord dynasty also understood the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon's intentions now that the god corpse had been exposed. Both the Dark Moon Lord dynasty and the Great Gone Lord dynasty would attack the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon if they saw it. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon felt a headache coming on. How is it supposed to approach the god corpse underground? It was heavily injured, and if it met the other peak experts of both Lord dynasties, it might actually die here. That is, the heavily injured Black Destruction Serpent Dragon looked forward with surprise. This was still the battlefield, but there was a normal and skinny female standing there. She was roughly only at the Great Origin Core realm. One had to know that it was the late stages of the war. Even normal kings didn't dare to come to the battlefield, let alone sovereign lords. Black Destruction Serpent Dragon? Lin paused for a moment. She came here according to fate, but she didn't expect the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon to come. However, she revealed a faint smile the next instant. Eyes of Destiny. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon was extremely knowledgeable, so it quickly recognized the little girl's true identity. Do you want to work together? Lin revealed a simple smile. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon paused for a moment. Even though it was heavily injured right now, it could kill normal Origin Core realms with the flick of a finger. However, the Black Destruction Serpent Dragon thought about it seriously for a moment. Let's go. The Black Destruction Serpent Dragon circulated a surge of magnificent power and took Lin into the sky. News of the divine power surging out from underground instantly spread across both Lord dynasties. The center of the explosion was still a forbidden zone that even demigods couldn't approach. This forbidden area stretched across hundreds of millions of kilometers of the battlefield, and it was like a natural chasm that separated the two dynasties. In this remote area of the forbidden area, both dynasties had sent countless experts to guard it. On the other hand, the two dynasties had also set up special explorers, hoping to dig out as many secrets as possible from the depths of the earth. At this moment, the two Lord dynasties didn't have the time to fight. The true rulers of both Lord dynasties were demigods, and the dream of a demigod was to become a god and enter the ancient desolate realm of gods. It was hard to imagine what kind of secrets were hidden underground now that such a terrifying amount of divine power had appeared in the continent zone. However, no matter what, all the sacred kings and demigods believed that there was definitely a fortune to break through to the heavenly divine realm underground. The most important thing right now was to wait for the divine power in the ground to dim before the two Lord dynasties could confirm what was going on or enter. A large portion of the Lan province battlefield was covered by the divine power. Zhao Feng returned to Lan province after learning that the war between the two Lord dynasties had stopped. At this moment, Zhao Feng was walking around the Lan province battlefield, far away from the Forbidden Zone. Wang, a faint golden ripple appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye. Zhao Feng looked toward the golden-white divine light in the distance. What a complex and high-level power. Zhao Feng originally wanted to analyze the divine power, but the structure of the particles made Zhao Feng's scalp go numb. He didn't know where to start understanding it. Since he couldn't understand the divine power, Zhao Feng lowered his head once more and looked through the earth and the divine power to the deepest part of the ground. Although Zhao Feng could see through the divine power in the earth and see what was going on, what he could see was very limited and blurry. Although Zhao Feng could see through divine power in the earth to see what was happening 100,000 li below, what he could see was extremely limited and indistinct. One had to know that Zhao Feng was probably the only person in both Lord dynasties that knew what was going on underground. One had to know that Zhao Feng was probably the only person in the two Lord dynasties who knew what was beneath the 100,000 miles. One had to know that probably only Zhao Feng knew what was going on underground. This is the head of a god corpse. Zhao Feng's gaze scanned across the ground and saw through the obstacles with great difficulty. He was able to guess what was going on from the blurry images. The head of this god corpse was extremely large. It was hard to imagine that such a large race existed in the world. Zhao Feng's gaze focused on the head of the god corpse. Wisps of golden light flowed out of the mysterious golden ball and spread across the surface of Zhao Feng's left eye. At a certain moment, Zhao Feng's gaze passed through the surface of the god corpse's head. "There's movement inside," Zhao Feng exclaimed in shock. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.